20-year-old student Stephanie Aldrich is suing her ex-boyfriend, 24-year-old cook Michael Wynn, for the cost of plane tickets to visit him and for the cost to file a restraining order.
Order. All rise. Now, this is case number 175 on the calendar in the matter of Aldrich versus Wynn. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Miss Aldrich, the defendant is your former boyfriend. You claim you loaned him some money. You want it back.
Yes, ma'am.
He says he owes you nothing. When did you make the first loan? What was it for? I mean, if I look a little frustrated, it's just that it seems to me that I see an awful lot of young women standing on that side of the table and young men standing on this side of the table, which suggests to me that women, for some reason, enable men to take advantage of them. Then when the relationship's all over, they want their money back.
Well, when he said he would pay me back. Well, at our
see a lot more women on this side of the table than I see men. Means that they're a lot smarter. And I didn't think so. Go ahead. When was the first loan?
I want to say it was on my first trip to see him in Kentucky.
What do you mean your first trip to see him in Kentucky?
He moved to Kentucky during our relationship.
Didn't that give you a clue?
Well, he said he was mad at Florida and that was his home and he wanted to go back home. So
he was mad at Florida, but he loved you. So he moved back to Kentucky.
Yes. So he moved up there.
Ding-a-ling.
That's what my family's been telling me, but I just didn't listen.
Oh, boy.
So you went back to Kentucky to visit him?
Yes, ma'am, I did. He said he paid my first full plane ticket up there.
Yeah.
And so I went up there. He was going to pay me back when I got to Kentucky, the money for the plane ticket.
How much was the ticket?
The first one was $138.
And you paid for it?
Yes, ma'am. It's in my... I have
$138. Did he ever pay you back?
No, ma'am.
No. But you went again?
Well, yes. I thought he would have a job, and
but you went again.
But this time we would go in half because I figured, you know, it's a 50-50 thing, our relationship, so we would go in half. I'm like, well, because he wanted me to come and see him really bad, so he'd pay the first one, and I wanted to see him the second time. So I would say, okay, we'll just pay half.
When was the first time you went to see him? What date?
10/31/01.
And when was the second time?
12/05/01.
Okay. So he paid you nothing of $138 for 2 months, so you went again?
Yes, ma'am.
That's smart. Well, what was his reason for not paying you back in that 2 months, the $138?
He can't keep a job longer than 3 weeks.
Then I wouldn't have gone a second time.
Well, he supposedly had a job again when
Then I wouldn't have gone a second time till I got some money, honey. What else?
So I went up there a second time, and he's going to pay half of that ticket.
All right, go ahead.
And so I get
I'm not impressed.
The first day we go up there, we go to turn in his work uniform back in, and I ask him why. He said he lost the job. I was like, why? He had no cut and dry excuse, so he used my money for the remainder of the week.
So?
So he said he would pay me back half when...
I'm not interested. What else?
Finally comes back to Florida.
He came back to Florida?
Yes, ma'am.
And I was mad at Kentucky, he came back to Florida?
I don't really know.
You don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
So he comes back. We go on a spring break trip. We're supposed to save each $500, put it in together, and that would be our spending money for spring break.
And what month was this?
3/21/02.
3/02. Now, from October 01 until 3/02, has he given you back the $138?
No, ma'am.
Half of the $138 for the second trip?
No, ma'am. The second ticket was more.
Whatever it was, has he given you back any of the money that you used to spending money on the second trip?
Once before we broke up, he paid $106 to me once, and then we
$106 for what?
Just all the accumulations of money he said he would pay me back for.
Now you're going to each save up $500.
Yes,
to
for
go
the
on another
spring
trip.
break trip, yes.
On a big spring break trip. Why don't you save up $500 and give you the money he owes you?
I figured, why won't he pay me back? He's my boyfriend. Because we had done a previous trip before, the previous spring break to Daytona, and we both put in $400, and we both put in our half and everything, and that was great. So I figured these second times, oh, he didn't, you know, he's in Kentucky, he was tight on money. Okay, he's back home now. We'll get him another good job, but I really want to go on spring break because I've never really, you know, I wanted to go to...
That's your problem.
Yes, ma'am.
So, he's put in $500 each. What happened?
Yes. He can't save the money, so I save $250. We go down there, we spend my $250, and then he said he would pay me back for the hotels. So,
I'd just like to hear a word from Mr. Wynn. Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Listen to me.
We started...
I don't, listen to me. I'm doing fine.
Thank you.
But that's none of your business.
Okay. Our relationship started January 17th of '01, okay? The first date that she has on here is October 21st of '01. This is where she starts keeping track of what I owe her, what she says that I should pay her back. From that time to the 10th, we're using all my money. There wasn't a question of what you need to pay. I took care of it. You know, the plane ticket, I never said I paid for it. It was her decision to come out there. It was her choice. You know, she came out there. She paid for it. The trip to Daytona, I do believe I wrote her a check for an amount of maybe $100 or $200 right off the bat before we even left, because I had my mother give it to her. I think I was waiting on a paycheck, and the cash was just not accessible at that time. And that's pretty much it.
Now I want to hear more.
What do you want to hear?
Did you ever tell her that you would pay for the hotel?
I did not say I would pay.
No, you didn't even let me finish the question yet, Mr. Wynn. She finds you irresistible. I do not.
Not anymore.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
So you have a future plan?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
He's not part of your future.
I know. I figured that out.
You figured wrong.
That you would pay her back for half the hotel rooms for the last trip that you took.
No.
After you took that trip, which is in March of 2002, how much after that did the relationship go south?
I think we made it, what, another month, maybe 2 months?
And what happened?
It's my own fault.
How is it your own fault?
Well, too much liquor and my mouth overloaded my butt one night, and I showed my pretty good.
Showed
She
his
got
what?
scared.
What did he say?
Something about showing is pretty good.
She got scared. She left. She got a restraining order, and we went to court over that, and that's it. There hasn't been no
I mean,
contact
you lost
since.
your temper
Yeah,
because you had too much to drink.
that was half of it.
Had you had too much to drink before during the course of your relationship with the plaintiff?
No,
Never had a drinking problem?
no.
Is that right?
No, he was never like that before. I don't know what happened the last 2 weeks of our relationship. He pushed me one incident, and that's why I got the restraining order. And while we were at the injunction hearing, I asked the judge, I was like, well, he still owes me money. How can I get that? He said, you're going to have to go to small claims court. So I served him one letter of outlining everything that he owed me, signed it. I wanted the $700. In 2 weeks, he paid me $50. Sent him a letter saying, well, I'll accept $50
Oh, just
more.
1 second. Did you send her $50?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Why did you send her the $50?
The reason for that is we had a big argument over me stealing $40 out of her purse. I didn't steal it, I just took it. You know, my money's your money should be my money. You know what I'm saying? We never had a problem with money. I took $40 out of her wallet while she was staying with me in Kentucky and took off and went drinking one night. Having fun, blah, blah, blah. And the next day, I told her I took $40 out. It was a big uproar. We had a big fight. Not really a big fight. We had a little dispute over it. And for a few months after that, you know, it would come up $40, because she said it hurt her, and I knew it hurt her. So I sent her $50, there's your 40, and here's 10 extra. And that's it.
What a man.
Yeah. How about that?
What a guy. Miss Aldrich, do you know what I'm going to give you on your complaint?
No.
Nothing. And I'm going to tell you why. How old are you?
20.
Do you work?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a cashier and a nanny, and I go to school.
What do you go to school for?
I want to be a nurse, a midwife.
So you have a future planned?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
He's not part of your future.
I know. I figured that out.
You figured wrong.
Not part of your future.
I know.
When you're involved in a relationship, and let us say that the relationship went further and you became engaged and married, which is what you were planning, I'm sure.
We talked about it, but it was fantasy.
We weren't going to be bothered about this $138 for a plane ticket, or $80 for half a plane ticket, or $200 for a hotel room. You're in love. You're planning a future in your own mind. This isn't loan stuff. There's a difference between a loan. I am giving you $200. You will pay me back $20 a week until it is paid off, as opposed to, don't worry, I'll pay you back.
Well, being my boyfriend, I thought I could trust him and that he would.
But you had no reason to trust him, madam. He never paid you back.
He did pay me one payment before we broke up of $106 and said we'd give
You
me
know,
one
I don't
paycheck.
even
Who
remember
knows what
making
that's
that
for?
payment.
Who knows what that's for? But what I'm telling you, you are a very fortunate young 20-year-old. You've got a bright future, and you recognize a mistake. And if I never see you here again, madam, you will have learned a very good lesson.
I have learned, thank you.
The very good lesson is, if you're dating a guy and you have to lend him money, say sayonara.
Exactly, exactly.
Right? Lend money if, gee, I left my wallet home, you got 20 bucks until we get home? Different story.
Right.
If somebody is perpetually losing their wallet
Or their job.
or their job
Yeah.
or their temper, that's somebody that you want to father your children?
No, ma'am.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
ma'am.
So consider yourself one of the luckiest young people that I've met in a long time. You got to be cheap. You're single.
Yes, I am.
You have no children. You don't have any big debt. You didn't lend him thousands.
No, I didn't.
You gave away a couple of $100 and you learned a good lesson.
Yes, I did.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He is just a womanizer and a user.
I don't know. You know, it's over. It's done with.
I'm very picky about the guys I see now.
I'm just a sucker. I'm just not the victim.
He's just one of those people that you always want to keep your eye on.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Christmas, Bradley versus Davis. Step forward, please.
16-year-old student Nicole Christmas and her mother, administrative assistant Annette Bradley, are suing Nicole's ex-boyfriend, 20-year-old business owner James Davis, for money she put towards the purchase of a vehicle. Nicole says when they broke up, James took the car.
All right, who's Christmas and who's Bradley?
I'm Christmas.
What's your first name?
Nicole?
Mrs. Bradley, this is your daughter.
Yes, it is.
And this used to be her boyfriend.
Yes, correct.
She's 16.
Yes.
You are
20.
20. You claim that your daughter gave him $600 towards a car that he allegedly purchased for her.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
He says she never gave him $600. The car is his. It's always been his. Somehow the police became involved in this thing, and he's going to tell me how. How long was he your boyfriend?
Like 3 or 4 months.
And tell me about this car, Nicole.
He purchased a car for me on my birthday. It was for my 16th birthday. He didn't have enough money to pay for it, all the car, so I told him I'd put $600 in on the car.
Where'd you get the $600 from?
My bank, I work.
You took out $600?
Yes, I did.
Let me see.
I don't have any bank receipts.
Why didn't you bring to court a
I
receipt?
didn't save my bank receipts.
You don't have to save your bank receipts. You get a statement at the
I
end
know
of the month.
I didn't save it at all.
I don't know that either. Your Honor, may I say something?
Yeah, in a minute, in a second. What kind of a car did he buy?
A white Ford Escort. I think it was a 93.
And who used the car?
I never got to use it because I didn't get my license until my 16th birthday.
Go ahead.
We broke up 2 days after my 16th birthday. Neither of us knew how to drive the car. It was a stick. And my mom was going to teach me.
Where was the car and whose house?
It was at my house.
Now tell me how the police became involved in this whole thing.
I was at work. I guess he came to my house. We had broken up that morning. He came to my house.
What did he say when he came to the house?
He came to the front door, and he had a friend with him because I assumed it was because he couldn't drive the car. He needed someone that knew how to drive the stick. And he said, Miss Bradley, basically I'm here to tell you that you're responsible for the breaking up of Nicole and I, and I'm here to take the car. I said, well, you know, I've learned from Nicole now that she also put money in on this car, and so you'll need to call the police unless you're ready to give her back her money. And I closed the door, and he called the police. And that's why the police got involved. Once they got there, he brought out a receipt for $400, and he told the police officer that he had paid $400 of his own money for this car, and the policeman came back in the home and spoke with Nicole, and she provided him the name and number for the person that they bought the car from, and that woman told the police, no, they both purchased the car. He talked me into giving a receipt for $400 for tax purposes only, but the truth is that they paid this much money for the car, and $600 of it was Nicole's. At that time, the police asked James why he'd initially lied and had him sign a statement promising to repay Nicole $600 within 60 days. And
May I
James
see the
did
note,
sign it.
please?
Yes.
How much did you pay for the car, sir?
$1,400, ma'am.
Okay, where did you get the money from?
I had a pretty good job working for my dad. I made about $800 to $900 a week.
So where did you get this $1,400 from the bank?
No, I saved up for 2 weeks in cash.
Why would you think Nicole would say that she put in $600 towards the car?
Basically, Your Honor, I don't think it was Nicole at all. I think it was her mother. Her mother has been trying to get money out of me for the whole duration of me going out with her daughter. She wanted money for bills. She wanted money for everything. And basically, she's just trying to get more money out of me.
Why would you sign this thing, sir?
Your Honor, I signed that contract under duress. This is how the police got involved. I filled out a stolen car report.
Why did you fill out a stolen car report?
Because they had my car and they wouldn't give it back. It was locked in their garage.
Did you buy this car for her birthday?
No, I did not. For her birthday, I got her 2 dresses.
The car was purchased by both James Davis and Nicole Christmas. Mr. Davis has registered the car in his name. although he claims to have purchased the car for Nicole's birthday.
No, I did not claim that.
The officer wrote this out, right?
Yes.
Why was the car at her house?
Because I let her borrow it. I was driving a brand new car. I had to pay that, and the only reason why I bought the car is for when I go back to college, that's what I was going to drive.
Why was the car at her house?
I let her borrow it.
She couldn't drive it.
Her mother wanted to borrow it.
Your Honor, I have
Her and her mother wanted to borrow it.
You bought the car and you said to her, this is for your 16th birthday. Mr. Davis, duress or not, you signed the note in the presence of the police officer who also signed the note that you would pay her within 60 days of the date of this, which is 7/26/01, the sum of $600, and you haven't paid it.
No. Basically, they've been harassing me for about a year and a half now over that money, and the proof that I have that I don't have, that I should not be able to pay her, is she left a phone message on my answering machine. My mom heard it, and she basically said that if I don't get such and such amount of money that she was going to...
Just a second. Do you have that?
No, I don't, but I do have a written statement from my mom.
No.
That's all I have.
Machine, tape. That's very easy. I hear those all the time.
Well, at the time, I was in college. They couldn't get a hold of me, and they left it at my home. And
Mr. Davis.
My mom heard the answering
Mr.
machine.
Davis, is your mom here?
No, she's just started a new job, ma'am.
Mr. Davis.
All she could do was sign something.
You signed a statement in the presence of an officer that you would pay her within 60 days the sum of $600. That was in order for you to get your car back. Is that right?
Yes. He said he...
Right. That's what you signed it for. In order for you to get your car back, the officer said, she says you owe $600. You want your car back today? Give her back her $600, or tell her when you'll give her back her $600. If not, I'm just going to leave the status quo and you can go fight this out in court.
Ma'am, he directly told me if I do not sign the contract, I will not get my car back. And
That's not true, Mr. Davis.
That's what he told me.
No, he said you wouldn't get your car back that day. That day, then you go to small claims court and you sue her.
I was moving into my apartment in San Francisco, and I needed my car. That's the only reason why I signed
Just a second. Did you come with a friend?
Yes, I did.
Is the friend somebody who could drive a stick shift?
Yes.
Why did you bring a friend?
Because I was going to get my car back. He was moving into the apartment with me. I was his roommate.
You brought the friend because he knew how to drive a stick shift.
Yes.
And you did not.
Yes.
So you couldn't move into your apartment in San Francisco with this car because you didn't know how to drive it.
He was going to teach me how to drive it, ma'am.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $600. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 92 on the calendar in the matter of Malavenda versus Breen. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mr. Malavenda, it is your claim that the defendant assaulted you on an airplane.
That's correct.
The defendant says it was just a tap. And he is counterclaiming for ruining the vacation he was planning with his wife, including the loss of some theater tickets because he was hauled off of this plane and he missed his theater and he ruined his vacation. Is that right, Mr. Breen?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Tell me when this incident occurred.
On December the 1st of year 2001.
Where were you going?
To Las Vegas.
And where were you boarding the plane?
At Lindbergh Field in San Diego.
Okay. Tell me what happened, sir.
At 12 o'clock, we boarded the plane. I say we, it's Dane, Lay, and myself. And we sat down, and there was a...
Did you have assigned seats?
No, there are no assigned seating. We had boarding cards, and we had sat down. It was in the middle of the plane. 15, 20 minutes later, they announced there was a mechanical. Would everybody deplane, leave their luggage, and return to the same seat? It would take no longer than an hour. At that time, we did. And we came back within the hour, and they said, well, it's going to take longer to get the part than we thought it was. So they said, we're going to take another piece of equipment. Everybody go to gate 6.
Another piece of equipment meaning another plane?
A plane, yes, ma'am. Then at that point, both my friend and I went to gate 6. They opened up the gates, and they said, don't worry about seats, just grab the first seat you come to.
It was the same airlines?
Yes.
Excuse me. Quiet.
And
not assigned seats?
No, ma'am. There was no assigned seats.
Okay.
So I approached, and the first row was taken, the second row was taken, the third row wasn't. So I let my friend, he doesn't fly that often, I said, go ahead and take the window seat, Dane, because you don't fly. I think he's flown once in his life. He says, fine. So I sat in the middle. I buckled in, and then at that point, the row of the stream of people were coming in. Then this gentleman comes up to me, and he says, you're in my seat. Move. Not please, not anything. And I laughed. I thought he was kidding, like, hey, this is first class, isn't it? You're in my seat. I thought he was, kidding. So at that point, I laughed. And I said, you got to be kidding. That's exactly what I said. You got to be kidding. And at that point, he smacked me on top of the head. And it was so hard, they heard it in the back of the plane. And it
What did he
dazed me.
smack you with?
At that time, I didn't know. I was told it was a book. And I don't know if the palm of the back of his hand hit me. I don't know if the book hit me. I do not know. At that point, he also made the statement, wait until I meet you in Vegas, or wait until I see you in Vegas. It took 5 seconds. And he kept on walking, and I said, I want that blank out of here. And the flight attendant came over, and I explained to her what had happened. They called the harbor police. They went to get him, and they got the wrong person at first. And, and then the party who was facing me, she spoke up. She says, I work for the San Diego Police Department, indicating that she wasn't a police officer, but she worked for them. And she said, I can identify him. And that she got up and went back and identified him, and then he was removed from the aircraft. A few minutes went by, they came and got me. I exited the plane. Would you like to sign a complaint? And I said, yes, I would. And at that point, that was the end of that incident. Got back on the plane, we went to Vegas, and he shows up the same hotel I'm at. Coincidence, and there's no way he would know. So apparently it was coincidence. But in my mind, I don't know how his mind's working, and I don't know what is going through it. So I avoided him.
Did you follow through with the complaint, sir?
Yes, I did.
What happened with that complaint?
They dismissed it because it was just too costly to go ahead and prosecute him.
Because you had no serious injuries.
I was dazed and I have constant headaches, but that's beside the, I mean, you know.
Okay, fine. Now I'll hear your end of the story.
Well, it was also December 1st. It was, we got there at 9:15 for a 12:30 flight. There are no assigned seating, as he says. It's a cattle call. We had boarding passes number 2 and 3 because we had been there since 9:30 in the morning waiting for the 12:30 flight. We boarded the plane. It was a mechanical problem. We were in the 3rd seat back from the entrance of the plane at that time. They said that they were going to need to move us to another plane, and they did ask us at that time, quote, let's make this as friendly and convenient as possible. Would you all please take your current seat when we move to the new plane?
Okay.
They did repeat that several times while we were...
Yes, ma'am.
They did repeat that several times while we were changing from one plane to another. Got onto the plane. I don't believe I've ever seen this gentleman before in my life. Whether he was in the window seat, I don't know. This gentleman and his friend who was in the windows...
Try looking at me when you're testifying, sir.
Sorry, in the aisle seat. I asked him to move. I did say, you're in my seats. What do you think you're doing? Move. He laughed, said, what, are you kidding me? No way, not going to happen. Waved me to go to the back of the plane. I asked him again to move. He continued to laugh in my face. I did at that point lean over the back of the seats in front of him and did mention that when we reached Las Vegas, he might prefer to have me as his friend. Not the most intelligent thing that I've ever done, but that is what I said. At that point, he stood up and said, oh, come on, I'll be your friend. Come to my hotel. I'll buy you a drink. We'll have a great time.
You're lying. That's a lie.
No, I'm not.
No, that's a lie. That's not even in your answer. That's not even in your answer, sir. Don't make up stories as we're moving along here. Don't make up stories as you move. He's sitting in a seat. He's buckled in. You lean over. And what you said in your answer was you acted foolishly, but you tapped him with the soft end of a paperback book.
After he stood up and had words with me and was in my face laughing, waved me to the back of the plane one more time. Yes, he was standing up to provoke me. And yes,
oh, he was provoking you? Are you out of your mind? I mean, are you out of your mind? Is there something chronically wrong with you?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You saw what he did. What did you say to him?
I didn't say much. I was...
shocked. You were shocked. You said to him, what's wrong with you? Does he have a bad temper?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tony Malavenda says fellow passenger Robert Breen assaulted him on an airplane. Tony claims Robert thumped him on the head with a book.
Now, sir, you put your hands on somebody over a seat in a plane? Is there something wrong with you?
Ma'am, after a 3-hour wait to get onto the plane...
Everybody waited for 3 hours. Everybody had a deep plane. Everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
You weren't the only one. You weren't taking a private plane, were you?
No.
So you're getting on a plane. Somebody is sitting in a row that you had been on in a previous plane. You told them to move. They didn't move, and you hit them. That's what happened. I mean, that's the long and short of it. You can't do that. I mean, what did you say to him? You're his wife. What did you say to him?
I was ahead of him in line, and I didn't actually speak to my husband. I was watching the situation,
stand up here. You get back in your seat. You saw what he did. What did you say to him?
I didn't say much. I was
shocked.
Yes.
You were shocked.
I was shocked at the actions of both men, but it escalated to what it had.
You were shocked. You said to him, "What's wrong with you? Does he have a bad temper?"
No, not really.
Not really. I doubt
He
that.
needs to be provoked, but
By being provoked, it means somebody was sitting in row 3? That was his provocation for hitting somebody?
the gentleman was pushing his buttons. He was.
No. He said, "You're in my seat, move." He said, "I'm not moving." He said it again. Then he leans over and he said to him, "When we get to Vegas, you want to be my friend." That's a threat. That's before anything happened. That's before he got up. So your counterclaim for your destroyed vacation is dismissed because you deserve to have a destroyed vacation. Now, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
You're suing the defendant for $5,000. That's overkill.
Yes, ma'am.
Big time. You weren't injured. But he certainly has to be taught that this is not behavior that is acceptable. What are all these papers that you have to show me? I'm just curious.
These are the police report and the witness's report.
Let me just take a look at it quickly.
And my witness officer. Yes, ma'am.
You know, Mr. Breen, you don't look like an unintelligent man, bad-tempered, but not unintelligent. You just recounted to me what you said exactly. You made up this whole big story about what he said to you, and that he got up and he was confrontational, and you made a whole story, right, about what he said to you.
I didn't make a story at all, Your
Yeah,
Honor.
sure you did. And you remembered and you recounted it how many months later? 6, 7, 8 months later, you recounted that statement to me as if it was gospel truth. Is that right, sir?
That's what happened on the plane, Your Honor.
All right. So what I'm suggesting to you, sir, is do you think one's memory becomes clearer as time goes on, or do you think it becomes dull?
It becomes a little dulled.
Of course. So I'm going to read you what the police said. Police said, suspect Breen made the following statement, and then it talks about having to deplane one plane for another, and you were told to take the same seats. Breen asked him to move, and Malavenda laughed and refused. As Breen was walking away, and this is your statement, Malavenda made a smart comment which Breen could not recall. So you're saying you're one of the few people who, after a period of time, without hypnosis, without truth serum, things become clearer than they were on the day of the incident. So to the police, you couldn't recall what he said to you, but to me, 8 months later, you recall every word. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500. Your counterclaim's dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The way he said, "You're in my seat, get out." I laughed. I thought the gentleman was kidding.
I was wrong to hit him.
I saw him hit Tony upside the head very hard with a paperback book.
This book, on the open part, pretty much like that.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Real Muto versus Kessinger. Step forward, please.
Real estate investor Gary Real Muto is suing his godson's friend, 17-year-old Mark Kessinger, and his mother, Christine Kessinger, for the cost to fix his quad runner.
Mr. Real Muto, the defendant's son, and I assume that that's this young man who was 16 years old, was driving or riding on one of your recreational vehicles and had an accident and severely damaged it. You want his mother to be responsible for the damage to the vehicle. Is that right?
Yes.
And his mother says that it's not her responsibility. Correct?
Yes.
So I want you to tell me when he was riding the vehicle, when it was damaged, and under what circumstances he got control of the vehicle.
Okay. On September 11th of 2001, a very close friend of mine had passed away from a medical disease. In October, I had returned to New York. I was living in Las Vegas at the time. I lived in Long Island, New York all my life, but...
Mr. Real Mundo.
Yes.
I don't need your history. Tell me the date that this happened with the vehicle.
Okay.
And how come he was driving it.
Okay.
Thought I made that clear.
In October, I had picked up the vehicles and...
You said vehicles. You had two?
2 quads, yes.
What is a quad?
A quad is a recreational vehicle meant to go out in the sand dunes or on trails and off-road.
Okay.
When I was leaving on a Wednesday night to go back to Las Vegas, my godson, Bubba, who's a witness, and his friend had wanted to use the quads for the day.
His friend is this young man?
Yes, Mark.
Okay.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Gary Real Muto says his godson's friend, 17-year-old Mark Kessinger, owes for wrecking his quad runner. Mark says Gary gave him permission to ride it.
So what happened next?
We were together with Mark and Bubba all week, and we were, you know, like family.
Where were you together?
We were together in Long Island, where I was temporarily staying at Victoria's house.
Who's Victoria?
Victoria's a 30-year friend of mine.
And this is her child?
Yes.
So you were all together for a week,
Yes.
but you had not met Mrs. Kissinger.
No, I haven't.
And your godson said to you, could we ride your bikes?
Yes.
And what did you say?
Well, we said yes, they can ride the bike.
Because we said yes.
Myself, Victoria, I discussed it with Mark
Now, why did you discuss it with Victoria?
regarding her son's ability to be able to stay home from school that day and to go out and ride the quads for the day.
Other than just staying home from school, and is it okay if he goes out and rides the quads? Is that what the discussion was?
Well, the discussion was a little bit more detailed than that. It was obligations to wear helmets, obligations to come home at some certain times just to check on them, and their responsibility for any damages and definitely for their safety.
Okay. So what happened next?
Okay, so they were riding the quads and acting just like gentlemen all day long. We told them to come back at certain time intervals. They came back. They always had their helmets on. At 10 minutes to 6, we got a phone call from Bubba, who has his cell phone with him at all times, and he said Mark had an accident with the bike. My first question, obviously, was, is everybody okay? And he said, yeah, but one of the quads was damaged to the fact that they can't drive it home. At that time, Bubba's father went with a pickup and retrieved the bike and also the two young men and brought them back to the house. Mark was extremely upset. We talked. You know, I told him the key thing is that nobody's hurt. Okay, the bike can be repaired and there's no problem. He was very upset and claimed many times that, you know, he'd be responsible for repairing the bike. You know, I claimed responsibility beforehand, and I still claim it now. We hugged, we embraced. I felt very sorry for him. I asked him if he wanted me to call his parents and break the news to him, and he asked me, please don't. He'll take care of it himself, that he knows his parents, and they might react a little strange right now, so.
All right, and there came a time subsequently to that event that you did contact his mother?
Yes.
And had she been made aware of this accident?
I would have to assume that she wasn't made aware from Mark until I had made the calls to the house.
Okay. And she told you that she felt as if it wasn't her responsibility?
Yes.
It's not.
Okay.
It's yours.
My responsibility?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Good. I'm glad you see it, so I'm going to explain it to you in case you don't understand it. Mrs. Kissinger doesn't have to say anything, and I don't have to know how this accident happened. Mr. Realmonto, you said certain things that were really quite telling. First of all, you never met Mrs. Kissinger, nor did you see fit to call her and say to her, is it okay if your son stays home from school today with Bubba to ride these wrecked vehicles? You spoke to Victoria, and you said to Victoria, is it okay if Bubba stays home from school today to ride the wrecked vehicles? But you never contacted his mother. That's one thing. Two, let us say, Mr. Realmonto, that he was riding that wrecked vehicle, and when it was damaged, he was damaged. Broken arm, broken leg, broken hand. Do you know who would be responsible? You.
Yes.
Because you gave him permission. His mother never gave him permission. You gave him permission to ride your wrecked vehicles. What do you know about him? What do you know about whether his mother would have given him permission to ride a vehicle that's capable of causing injury for a minute? Now, sir, you took it upon yourself to hold the safety of a minor who was not your child in your hands by giving him control of a vehicle that is capable of causing injury. And you can't make a contract with this young man because he's only 16. So the fact that he says to you, I'll take care of it, it's my responsibility, he has no obligation to you. Do you understand that?
I do understand that. Can I interject
Absolutely.
something? I spent a few days with him, and they were very responsible. I don't want to say children because they're not children at these ages.
In the eyes of the law, they are.
They've proven to me that they're responsible people. When they had a request, I was very easily to say yes because they were responsible.
You were a nice guy.
Thank you.
You're a nice guy.
Thank you.
His mother's not responsible.
Okay.
The only way that his mother would be responsible would be if he took it without your permission, if he stole it,
Right.
or if she had said to you, it's fine if he drives the wrecked vehicle, it's okay with me. You hadn't even checked with her.
Well, I checked with him, and, you know, his word was pretty good to me, but obviously...
You didn't ask just Bubba if it was okay if he missed a day of school. You asked your friend if it was okay if her son missed a day of school. Maybe it wouldn't have been okay with his mother if he missed a day of school, but you didn't bother to ask.
Well,
so you assumed that responsibility, and therefore you took on the responsibility of paying for your vehicle that was damaged. So unfortunately, Mr. Realmundo, your case is dismissed. Thank you for your participation.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. This is case number 44 on the calendar in the matter of Fowler versus Broom. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Ms. Fowler, you are suing the defendant for some child care that you provided during a 3-month period from September until December.
Yes, ma'am.
The defendant says that you were paid. Did you know her before you started to do this child care arrangement with her?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
How?
I met her in the summer of 2000. Her son was over to my house, and he had stole some money, so I had to go and talk with her about it. He admitted stealing the money, and...
How old is your son?
He's now 13. And then again, he was not the only one.
But that's not the child you were
Right.
babysitting for?
No, ma'am.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Then on September the 10th of 2001, I went to Tarzana Elementary School to pick up my daughter, Cayman. And when I got there, her daughter, Kylie, was with my daughter. And she was crying, and I asked her what was the matter, and she said that she was upset.
I don't want to hear.
She said that she was upset because her mother hadn't come to pick her up yet. So I called her mother on the cell phone and let her mother know that if it was okay, I would, you know, bring her home. She said she got off at 6 o'clock. At 6:30 when she got to my house, we entered a verbal agreement for me to begin watching her child.
Well, what was said? She must have said something to you. Can you watch her regularly?
Yes, she let me know that her daughter was on the waiting list for Latchkey, which is an after-school program. Until then, you know, she didn't really have anyone to pick her up from school. I told her I could pick her up, you know, each day with my daughter. And she said she would pay me $6 an hour. I was picking her up at 2:30 each day. And I began on September 11th actually providing child care for her. Then on September the 14th, Ms. Broom approached me with paperwork from a company called CC&RC and asked me if I would enter a contract with them. They are a company that provides assistance with child care payments for single parents. I filled out the application and everything and then began to wait. One of the things that I mentioned to her, in order for me to be able to watch her child, I would have to enter her child into programs that my child was entered into, tap and ballet classes. Here are the receipts for the ballet and tap classes that I entered her daughter. I paid for them, and Mrs. Broom reimbursed me.
Good. Okay. Did you get paid at all from Mrs. Broom?
Not for child care, no ma'am.
Nothing?
No ma'am.
Well, what was her excuse? You watched the child in September and October?
When I filled out the forms for the company CC&RC, they were going to be paying me the money. I received the first contract from them on October the 23rd, and I noticed that the rate that they were offering to pay was $2.84, which was not the agreement I had with Ms. Broom. Ms. Broom, when I brought the contract to her, she said, well, don't worry about it. I will reimburse you. I will pay you.
Why hadn't she paid you anything from September 11th until October?
Paid.
I want to get to you. Okay. Why hadn't she paid you anything? Why did you continue to watch her daughter if she hadn't paid you anything?
Because I filled out the contract with this company, and I was told by her that they would pay me. They told me it would take a couple of weeks for the paperwork to go through.
Okay, so now you've got middle of October, and they tell you they're going to pay you $2.84 an hour. You speak to her, she said, don't worry, I'll make up the difference.
Yes, she did.
What happened in the end of October and the month of November? Because clearly she wasn't giving you, according to you, any more money, even the difference, even if you were paid by the state. She wasn't.
Well, she always had an excuse as to why, and me being her friend, I didn't, you know, I was trying to actually help her. She was having problems with her son in school. She was having financial problems being a single mother or whatever. And I was being very understanding of that, being a single mother myself.
Did you get any money whatsoever from the defendant?
No, ma'am.
Did you get any money from this organization?
Yes, ma'am. On December the 20th, I received a check from that organization.
For how much?
For $360. And here's the copy of the paperwork for that. Ms. Broom and I met on October the 15th to go down to CCNRC to ask what was going on as to why I hadn't been paid. They stated that I had not had a TB test. So on the 19th, I had a TB test, and here's the record for that.
Okay.
Then they said it would be a few more weeks for the
so
paperwork
those
to go
weeks
through.
that you babysat for her, 5 days a week, is that right?
Yes, ma'am. I kept a...
Just a second. And how many weeks did you watch the child?
I don't have the weeks calculated, but I do have a tally for each month of September, October, November, December, the days that I watched a child, the hours that I watched a child. CCNRC provides you with this type of form that you turn in.
Okay. Now I'll hear you, Ms. Broom.
Okay. First of all, I would like to iterate that my daughter did stay on the grounds. I took my lunch at 2:30 between 3 and picked her up. My children, both of them, were able to come to my job and sit in the conference room.
Listen, I'm not interested.
All right, well, other than
Not
that,
interested.
my daughter would not be standing there crying. She called me on my cell phone. She says, I'll take Kylie home with me. And then she says, I can watch her if you want. She offered. I never asked her.
That's not true.
Which is fine. I never asked her to do anything. I told her that I had Kylie on the waiting list with CCRC. And if she, if we discuss it, if she didn't mind, she can watch her and she can sign a contract with them and they'll reimburse her. I pay CCRC a portion of whatever the child care is.
How much do you pay CCRC?
It all depends on what the provider is being charged. Here's a log of what I pay CCRC. She was paid. That's the bottom line. I don't owe her any money. There were things that were going on in her home. She was rather upset because I removed my child from her home.
That's not true.
There were things. She has an autistic daughter.
She stayed with, listen to me carefully, Miss Broom. Your daughter stayed with her part of September, October, November, part of December. And what you're telling me, your defense to this case is that your arrangement with her was that she was going to be paid by this organization.
And until she was paid, I paid her cash. Okay. And in the same instance, just like I paid her for ballet and tap, she was reimbursed for child care.
Yeah, okay.
She was reimbursed for child care.
Really?
Not only did she, and she's making a statement that she watched my daughter. We did things for each other. We were supposed to be friends. Quote unquote, I thought that's what we are. In the same instance, she made matters even worse. I didn't even want to deal with it, remove my child from her home. The things that went on in her home, I couldn't relate to it.
Forget. Okay. I'm not interested. You left your child there. That's the bottom line.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She's lying.
No, I don't believe she's lying.
Well, I believe she's lying.
Well, I don't care what you believe. The most important thing is that I don't believe she's lying. I don't believe that for 1 second.
And later today,
you were on City Time romancing his girlfriend in his house. You didn't tell me it wasn't true, Mr. Flores.
It's not true.
Because I have a feeling you two guys are playing with each other a little bit.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rebecca Fowler says former friend Delva Broom owes for babysitting fees. Delva says Rebecca was paid by the county.
How much do you earn annually?
Probably about $33,000, $34,000 a year.
Okay.
That's the issue. She thought that I don't know what I'm a single mother. I'm not on welfare. I work hard.
That's fine.
And if I was not qualified for this, she knew that she signed a contract with CCRC. Until CCRC picked up her contract, I then paid her. Again, she's lying.
I don't believe she's lying.
Well, I believe she's lying.
I don't care what you believe. The most important thing is that I don't believe she's lying.
Well.
I believe because a babysitter, not somebody who's 12 years old, but somebody who is an adult, a very minimal, reasonable payment for an adult is $6 an hour.
Right. And she received that.
Just a second. I don't believe that for 1 second that you paid her. Not for a moment. I believe that she was strung along.
No.
And she finally got a payment of $360, which is here in the paperwork. Put your hand down. Does it look like you're losing?
No, ma'am.
Where is your daughter currently?
My daughter is currently in an after-school program.
And when was she accepted in the after-school program?
After...
What month was
January.
Right. So you stopped with her in December?
No, I did not. I was at the end of November.
Listen, you're a fast talker.
No, I'm...
Bottom line is, I believe that you agreed with her and you said, I can pay you $6 an hour. Ultimately, you said to her, fill out these forms because some of it, well, you can get back and then I can pay you the difference.
No.
That sounds right to me.
That's not true.
But
because
nobody is going to work for $2 an hour. Nobody works for $2 an hour. Judgment for the plaintiff. Quiet. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,612. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
There's a reason why I took my child from her home. She's very vindictive. She's been convicted of child abuse.
I terminated the child care because by December the 15th, I hadn't been paid by her nor CCNRC.
She's a liar, welfare recipient.
Threatening to have me and my boyfriend beat up by people.
She's a liar, and she was paid. She's a liar.
She never paid me anything.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Meadows versus Flores. Step forward, please.
Warehouse worker Angel Muro is suing his ex-wife's ex-fiancé, Marco Flores, for car damages and pain and suffering. Marco is countersuing for damage to his truck and for harassment.
The defendant is the fiancé of your former girlfriend. Is that right?
Yes, we have a daughter in common.
How old is the child?
She's 10 now.
How long did you live with her?
About 10 years.
But you don't live with her anymore now. She's engaged to Mr. Flores.
That's right.
Your complaint is that Mr. Flores caused 2 accidents. One happened in August of last year. One happened in February of this year. The one that happened in August, you got paid for. Is that right?
Correct. My car was repaired.
I'm not dealing with that. Now that you hurt your knee or something. Should have dealt with that before your insurance company paid for it. But you say that he caused an accident in February, and because of his driving, he caused you to hit him in the rear of his car. He says that you hit him in the rear of his car, and it was your fault, and he is counterclaiming not only for that incident in February, but also he says that you have been harassing both him and his fiancée and have written defamatory letters to their bosses, all of which I will see. Now, I want you to tell me where this accident happened in February.
This happened in Sun Valley.
Tell me what happened.
I was going south on Laurel Canyon, and when I got up to Strathern, I noticed Marco, and he had pulled up in front of me, and there was another car, a friend of his, and another car, a big Ford behind me. I didn't get.
How did you know that the other person in the other car was a friend of his?
I didn't.
You didn't?
No, I didn't.
Shh.
I didn't. I just, when we were at the light was red, so we were just sitting there, and the car behind me kept easing up on my tail. And I kept looking up at the mirror at him, you know. And when the light changed, Marco took off, and then, you know, I was still looking at my mirror because this guy was just coming up, you know. I proceeded, and I looked up in my mirror. Next thing I know, he was sitting right in the intersection. He had only gone about 5 feet past the pedestrian crosswalk.
And you hit him?
Yes.
Now, what makes you think that this person behind you was a friend of his?
Because the way it was set up, the car just automatically just swerved off and sped off when the other lane was open.
So you don't know that he was a friend of his?
No, that's just my assumption.
That's your assumption, so
then,
I can't deal with your assumption. He's in front of you, you're watching the car behind you, and you hit him in the rear.
Correct.
Your case is dismissed. Now let's get to your counterclaim. You hit him in the rear. It's your fault. You're supposed to be far enough away from the car in front of you not to hit them in the rear. Now, so forget about your claim. And you forget about the February driving incident. Do you understand?
Yes.
All I want to hear about is the letters.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Because I have a feeling you two guys are playing with each other a little bit. That's my sense.
Wait.
That you don't avoid each other. In a big town, it just so happens that on many occasions, you're with each other, around each other in your cars. If you want to act like fools, that's your problem. You're not going to visit that on me.
Okay.
I want to hear
Honor.
quiet. I want to hear your allegations, Mr. Flores, with regard to the harassment and defamation.
Okay. He wrote 2 letters to the city. I work for 2 departments in the city.
Let me see the copies of letters that he wrote.
It was on his part. I didn't find out till...
I'm reading.
I've got letters from my superiors that he contacted my job before I called his job.
What word didn't you understand? I said I'm reading. Well, Mr. Flores.
Yes.
Let me tell you this. These letters are clearly the letters of an angry person. What he is complaining about is that while on city time, you were romancing his girlfriend in his house, parked your city truck that you were supposed to be using for business only, and that he was able to document it. Now, all that is pretty nasty, but he's allowed to write that. I mean, there's a lot of other extraneous stuff in here about his 8-year-old daughter and having to wait outside when you were there.
That's right.
However, if your complaint is that he should not have written to your bosses and told them that you were on city time, and if he's a taxpayer, using city vehicle to mess around with his girlfriend, he has a right to do that.
Well, if he has documentation and proof, why didn't he bring it forward?
You didn't tell me it wasn't true, Mr. Flores.
It's not true.
Oh.
My daughter...
Just a minute. Mr. Flores, that's what a hearing is for, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I assume that if there were any truth to these allegations, or if there was a question as to their veracity, because I see that you did change jobs, because one letter is written in 2000, one letter is written to a different employer in 2001, that you would have been given a hearing if you wish to contest those.
They transferred him out of there for that reason.
Hey,
it was
Mr.
justified.
Temper, take your hands out of your pockets.
It was justified, Your Honor.
So he has a right to send in those letters. You have a right to have a hearing. He was angry. By the way, how come you lived together for 10 years and never got married?
Just when things would get nice and calm, then something would always come up.
Did you ever ask her to marry you?
Yeah, I did, once.
Once?
No. Just didn't work out. She wasn't taking care of my daughter like I wanted her to.
Well, you're pretty bossy, Mr. Muro.
No, my daughter was...
Listen to me, you're pretty bossy.
No, my daughter was not allowed to go in the house. She was not allowed to go in the house when she got home from school until they took care of what they were doing. And
Listen to me.
And then,
I asked you a simple question. You were together for 10 years. Why didn't you marry?
Because she wasn't faithful.
Then you don't have a child, and you don't live together for 10 years. All right, Mr. Muro, you don't have a case. You hit his car in the rear. You're responsible for the damage. Mr. Flores, you don't have a case.
Well, Your Honor.
I'm speaking.
Can I just say one thing?
No. That's what you're suing for.
But
damage to your car.
To explain my
You don't have to. Sir, listen to me. I said to you, you hit him in the rear.
Correct.
Period. End of discussion. And you were looking at another car in your rearview mirror while you were driving. It's your fault. Pay for it yourself. You do not have a case. Do you understand? He has a right to complain about your abusing public funds by going fooling around in his house using a public car when he's not home. He really didn't care about... I'm speaking.
I'm sorry.
He has a right to file a complaint. You had a right to have a hearing. Do you understand?
Yes.
Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Your Honor, this is case number 139 on the calendar in the matter of Faust versus Nowaski. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Folks have seats.
Mr. Faust, you claim a loan to the defendant for some bad checks that she wrote, and also the return of some property that she has that you claim is really your property. Defendant says there was never a loan, that the property that you claim is yours was really a gift to her, and she has a counterclaim for some harassment nonsense and the return of some animals that she says that you have that belong to her. So let's start with this loan, which is really the big part of this case. Ms. Nowaski, you wrote some bad checks? When?
2 years ago.
And you were dating Mr. Faust at the time?
Yes.
And you agreed to make good on those bad checks?
Yes, I did.
So that she would not either be prosecuted or worse?
Correct.
Tell me about that, sir.
Basically, we started dating in August of '99, and approximately about mid-January of 2001, she came to me that she was served with papers, that was going to go to court, and she had nowhere to go.
Well, what did she say to you?
Basically that she was in a tight spot. She was upset and crying. We worked at the same place of work. So she came back to my office that day. She was served during lunch. And we went out to lunch, and she was upset about it.
And what did you say to her?
Basically, I was a little upset because she hadn't came to me because this had been going on for several months, and she was evading the companies and the phone calls and even attempting to make payments. So I was a little upset because I was lending her some money here and there that wasn't expected back during this whole time also.
That wasn't expected back. So you were not lending her, you were giving her money.
$10, $15 a week type thing just to help her out for gasoline or for lunch type thing. I was usually paying for the lunch.
What were you doing with all your money?
So.
Is not an answer. What were you doing with your money? If you're working, what were you doing with your money?
I was working. I wasn't making a lot of money, and I was spending too much money. And
On
the
what?
checks went through, and they went bad.
On what?
Clothes, grocery shopping.
Grocery
things like
shopping
that.
you can afford.
Just things like that.
That's not being honest with me.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. You're working, you're paying rent, and you buy groceries. That doesn't make you write bad checks. What makes you write bad checks are things that you shouldn't be buying, other than clothes. What else?
CDs, just stuff like that.
Okay. So he made good on your checks.
Yes.
So why do you feel as if you shouldn't pay him back?
We didn't have an agreement that I would pay him back.
What was your agreement?
He came to work. I had the papers. He came to my work and said that he would call him and take care of it. So he called him up and
he wouldn't have known
paid
about it. Listen to me. He didn't come into your office one day and say, let me see those papers. What happened is you contacted him and told him that you got served with a summons.
Right.
Is that right?
Yes.
And was that during the day, during business hours?
Yes.
So you were pretty upset.
Yes.
What did he say to you when you said you were crying and you were pretty upset?
He said he would take care of it. That's exactly what he said. He said.
And what did you say to him?
I didn't know what to do. I said, okay. He called them up and he paid them for me.
Mm-hmm. Why should he do that for you?
Because he loved me.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And is that why you let him do it?
I let him do it because I had nothing else that I could do.
Do you love him now?
No.
Then why don't you pay him back?
We never had an agreement to. He has constantly, first it was $600 he wanted, and then it was $1,000, then it was $1,400.
How much were your checks, the bad checks?
It was $600.
Show me.
I don't have a copy of it.
Show me how much amount of the total bad checks.
125.01 was the first check, and that following week I had called them to let them know that.
Who's them?
URS. And they had told me how much it was, the $600, which was in the packet. So I told them, well, I'm about $100 short. I'll have to call you on Tuesday. I called them on Tuesday to let them know you can clear that check through because they're going to do it electronically. What it came down to is where her checks had gone to, she had a credit card that had gone bad or something, and so she was being collected after a credit card. So when I called on Tuesday, he said, well, we have a problem. I had 4 more come in since I talked to you on Thursday.
Were there any other bad checks that you covered?
Yes, there was.
So she's a bad check writer.
Yes. So she had another $644.98 to Valley Empire Collections go through.
Let me see.
And I agreed to only loan her a portion of it, and that was a $349. And she had told me that she would try to get the other $259 from her grandmother, which, from what I gather, she did because the next couple months she was paying her grandmother back.
Did you pay your grandmother?
Yes, I did, and he didn't pay any of that. He told me that he was not going to help me out on that one.
Well, here he's got his card here.
Right. On that one that he's talking about, I called...
He's got the receipt.
He didn't pay any of that one.
Who did?
My grandmother did.
Got the receipt here for $349.62.
I didn't get any money from him on that one.
So let me ask you this question, madam. For all these bad checks, how much did you end up paying?
I would say probably $2,000 to $3,000. I got myself in a lot of trouble.
$2,000 to $3,000?
Yes.
Well, he paid $1,428 for you. You mean in addition to that, you paid an additional $2,000 or $3,000?
Yes.
Starting when and to whom?
Starting about 2 years ago, about 6 months after we started dating each other.
So you mean that there were bad checks that you didn't tell him about?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that, sir?
No, I wasn't. This is the first I've heard of this, other than when...
Really? Do you have any proof of that?
No, I don't.
Really?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He bought me a rabbit, a goose, and a duck.
Listen, your smile goes Zippo with me. That goes nowhere.
And later today,
the chants and the chimes and things were playing. And I and my friend are looking at one another saying, you know what, this may not work out.
It's not a hotel.
What is it?
It's a spiritual community.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Brian Faust says ex-girlfriend Noelle Nowaski owes for a loan to pay off her bounced checks and for the return of a gun. Noelle says Brian won't return her rabbit, her goose, and her duck.
Now you want to tell me about this gun that you want back?
Basically on the gun I'd purchased on my birthday, my 27th birthday, July 1st of 2000.
What kind of gun?
It's a Jennings 38.
Mhm.
I'd bought it for myself, took it to her house, had wrapped it up at her house on my birthday, and unwrapped it as a present to myself.
So you unwrapped the gun as a present to yourself, and what'd you do with it?
Gave it to myself.
You gave it to yourself. And
Gave
how
it to
did
myself. It was my own birthday present on my birthday.
Right. How did it wind up in her house?
Because end of July, we had gone out shooting, and she said she'd take it home and clean it and get familiar with firearms a little more. So, and then after that, I let her borrow it when she'd go out shooting with just her brother or her father.
After July of 2001, are you telling me that the gun remains in her possession?
I had it back about 3 times.
For a day?
For like a weekend.
And then you'd return it to her?
And then she'd call me up and want to go out shooting again. So I let her take that because it was a lower caliber. So I let her
Now
possess
I'll hear
it.
your side of the story with regard to the gun.
That was my 21st birthday present. My birthday is July 12th, just 2 weeks after his birthday. He came over for my birthday. My brother, my mother, my dad was there, and he was giving me my gifts, and one of them was the gun.
Did the gun remain pretty much in your possession all
Yes.
during that time?
Yes, it's been in my father's gun locker ever since then.
And what about this mattress?
I've been doing search and rescue for Spokane. I've got double of everything because I got a 24-hour pack and a 72-hour pack.
At some point, it came into her possession. You want to tell me your
It
version
came
of how
into
that came about?
possession in 2001 of July because we were out camping last year. And I had shown up where they were camping, and I brought some extra camping gear, my tent and
It's
sleeping
been
pads.
in her possession
It's been in
for
her
a year.
possession for a year because I had to leave and go to work the next morning, and she was using
over
it
it,
still
Mr.
for the next night.
Get over it, Mr.
So,
Faust.
that's fine.
Get over that. By the way, do guns have to be registered in the state
Yes,
where
they
you
are.
live?
I have a copy of all that.
Can
and a
I see
picture.
the registration, please?
And then I also, on July 2nd, had made a stolen gun report.
You have a carry permit to
Yes,
carry?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you have a carry permit?
No, I do not.
You return the gun to him.
Thank you.
You understand that? Perfect. $14.28 is what you owe him for your bad checks. Now,
Also on
and the
that,
gun.
it's actually less because after we broke up, she sent me 2 money orders,
In what amount?
20 each.
$13.88. Okay. Now, taking care of the gun's going back, the mattress stays with her. The harassment charge, because he drove by your work a couple of times, I'm not even entertaining, madam. The only thing I'm entertaining are these animals that you say that he has that belong to you. What animals do you say that he has that belong to you?
He bought me a rabbit, a goose, and a duck, and we kept them up at his house because I could not keep them in my yard, and he will not give them back.
Well, are you living in the same place now that you were living
Yes.
before? So if you couldn't keep them in your yard before, what makes you think you can keep them in your yard now?
I can't.
So what do you want them for?
They're mine.
What are you going to do with them? Listen, your smile goes Zippo with me. That goes nowhere. If I give them back to you, what do you intend to do with them?
I'm going to take them to, my cousin has a farm in Montana,
And where do you live?
Spokane Valley, in the city.
All right, so you're going to get on a plane with your duck.
No, I'm driving down there next week.
Really? And what do you do with the animals, sir?
I live on a farm, Your Honor.
Fine, you keep them.
Thank you.
There's something wrong with her. You got out just in time,
Yes,
so
I
your
do.
counterclaim is dismissed. You have my order on your claim. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He's a controller. He tried to control everything in our relationship.
I found out more info in there before I decided to marry her, so it's good it came to this.
He treated me like I was his daughter more than his girlfriend.
She was wanting me to pay for more stuff than what she was willing to pay for.
He's mad I broke up with him.
No matter how much you think you know somebody or care for somebody, you never know.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Aaron versus Parusha Das. Step forward, please.
22-year-old airline employee Michael Aaron is suing guest house manager Adi Parusha Das for the refund of a room deposit and for the cost to stay at a hotel. Michael says the guest house turned out to be a Hare Krishna commune.
Mr. Aaron, you made a reservation along with a friend to stay at the defendant's hotel.
That's correct.
Where is his hotel located?
New York, New York, in the East Village.
And where were you visiting from?
Columbus, Ohio.
How did you find out about his hotel?
I had a book that listed a lot of hotels, and actually I called a hotel called the Chelsea. Their hotel was full at the time, and they gave me the telephone number to the sanctuary guest room.
And you were looking for an inexpensive hotel?
That's correct.
Okay. Your lawsuit wants following. You went to his hotel. You had prepaid for 2 nights?
Correct.
You didn't like it. You checked into the room. You went elsewhere and found a room in another hotel. You want the defendant to pay the difference between his hotel and the second hotel that you found.
That's correct.
For 2 nights.
Yes, ma'am.
And also the deposit that you gave for both nights.
Well, I have received the deposit from one night. We made an agreement to get my money back from the Sunday night, but I did not receive the $95 back for the Saturday night stay.
When did you arrive at the hotel?
May 25th, a Saturday, around 3 o'clock.
And were you shown the room?
No, not before I paid.
So you paid, and how much did you give him at that point?
$200, $95 a night, plus a $10 room key deposit.
And then you went up to the room?
Correct.
And?
We went in, I and my friend, Mr. Tannehill, went into the room, and we looked at the beds, and there wasn't a television, and there wasn't a telephone or anything, and all you smelled were incense, and there were pictures of Jesus and Buddha, and the chants and the chimes and things were playing. And I and my friend are looking at one another saying, you know what, this may not work out.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Michael Aaron is suing guest house manager Adi Purusha Das for the refund of a room deposit and for the cost to stay at a hotel. Michael says the guest house turned out to be a Hare Krishna commune.
I have pictures of the room also, if you'd like to take a look, Your Honor.
I would.
We sat down on the bed, and the bed was as hard as a desk. The mattresses, there was no mattress. And we were aware that there was a full-size bed and a twin-size bed, but they were actually something like bunk beds. And there was a lamp in the room, and that's all there was. And there were a whole lot of scarves hanging around. Yeah.
It was a room. So you didn't like it. So you and your friend left and went out looking for another hotel.
That's correct.
And you found one.
Correct.
And how much was the hotel that you found?
$159 a night. That was tax included. Came to $322 and some change.
You don't honestly expect him to pay the difference between his room and another hotel room.
Actually, I do, Your Honor. You know, had Mr. Audi given me advance notice, we had no idea what this hotel was. The rules were there's no smoking, and we knew that in advance. No drinking, didn't know that. No eating meat, didn't know that. No guest in the hotel room, we didn't know that. And you couldn't talk after 9 o'clock because there's praying going on, Your Honor. We were not told those rules in advance at all. We didn't sign a no refund slip. We weren't made aware of any no refund policy, and we were not made aware of any cancellation policy. So under those circumstances, I do believe that he
should pay the difference.
The $95.
I'm not talking about the $95, sir. I'm talking about the difference between his hotel room and the hotel room that you ultimately found.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, you don't get that, because that's ridiculous. You found a hotel room that was substantially more expensive, where I'm sure there was a television, right?
Yes.
And a telephone?
Yes, Your Honor.
And a nice shower?
Yes, Your Honor.
And 2 much more comfortable beds?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the cost was a lot more.
Correct.
So, you want your comfort, you pay for it. You didn't plan on eating meat in the room anyway, did you?
What?
Huh?
Well, Your Honor, you know, if you go to a restaurant, you bring something back, you know, it wasn't allowed in the hotel at all.
No. So, I mean, that wasn't your plan,
Not planning on it, no.
To barbecue a beef in your room.
No, not a barbecue.
Now, Mr. Purusha, do you have something that you give to your tenants, rules of your hotel?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, we don't.
You don't?
We tell them verbally.
Do you, sir, have a policy in the hotel that you cannot have guests in your room?
No unregistered guests, yes, we do.
In the room?
Yeah.
And do you have a policy in your hotel that there is no talking after 9 o'clock?
No, we don't, Your Honor.
You don't. So you can't talk after 9 o'clock?
Of course.
Well, what is he talking about that you can't talk after 9 o'clock? What kind of rule is he talking
It's
about?
not a hotel.
What is it?
It's a spiritual community. It's like staying in a monastery.
Did you explain that to Mr. Aaron at the time he booked this room?
Mr. Aaron was referred to us by a friend of ours who refers a lot of people to us. The friend, when he was making some protest, he said, nobody told me this, nobody. I said, wait a minute. Charles, did you refer Michael Aaron here? He said, yes. I said, did you tell him where you're sending him? He said, yes. I said, he says, whenever I send anybody, because this is a very unusual place that we have, it's not an ordinary hotel. Charles said, this is exactly what I tell everybody that I send there, Audie.
Well, that would be hearsay coming from you, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Aaron.
Yes, Your Honor.
I think that you're a trustworthy guy. Were you told what kind of a place you were going to when you made this reservation, sir?
Your Honor, the only thing I was told that it was, they had breakfast in the mornings, it was around $100 a night, and there was no smoking. Those are the rules, and those were the circumstances that I was told about.
Did anybody tell you that this was a spiritual community?
No, Your Honor. If I was told that, I wouldn't have been at the hotel. It's simple as that.
Mr. Perushadok.
Yeah.
Ordinarily, I would say to you, if you ran a hotel, and if Mr. Aaron came to your hotel,
right,
checked in, didn't like his room, and left, I would say, he is forfeited, you know, that night. He did, in fact, check in. But I believe that he was not told what kind of arrangement this was. And if he was not forewarned as to what kind of an arrangement this was, he should be entitled to his money back. And that was $95?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm going to enter a judgment in your behalf in the amount of $95. Judgment for the plaintiff. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 123 on the calendar in the matter of Garau versus Barazowski. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Young man, have a seat, please.
Mr. Garau, you and the defendant have known each other, according to what I've read, for many years.
Yes, ma'am.
It is your claim that the defendant is responsible for damage that her 10-year-old son did to your car.
Yes.
And tell me when this incident occurred and where it happened.
This incident occurred 5/6/02.
Yes?
In front of her house while Justin was working on his bicycle.
You went to her house?
Yes, I did.
In your car?
Yes, I did.
What did you go there for?
To see her.
So you pulled up into the driveway or in front of her?
In front of the house.
Pulled up in front of the house, and what happened?
Jan got into the passenger side. We sat in the car for a few minutes, and I said, well, hey, let's go up to the store. I wanted to go up to the store. And I cranked the engine up.
And she said, okay, she was going to go
She
to the
was
store.
going to go with me. And
No,
Justin asked, where are you going, Ma? And she told me, nowhere. So I shut the car down. But I turned around and I asked her again. I says, come on, well, let's just go up to the store. So I started the car back up. I proceeded maybe about a foot. This is when Justin ran up to the car with a bike rim, overloaded it onto the windshield. I have pictures.
What do you mean
of
overloaded it?
Well, he smashed the window out.
Okay.
I also have pictures of
Why do you think he was so upset, Mr. Garau?
because the mother pampers him too much. Wherever she goes, he's got to go. Like little Bo Beep lost her sheep, you know.
Well, who else was home with him at the time?
Her second oldest son, Nicholas, was home.
All right, you want to tell me your version of these events?
Yes, I went into the car. I had no shoes on. I left the door open, the car door open. I never closed the door.
That car
Justin
door was
asked
closed.
me.
Don't interrupt her.
Justin asked me, Mom, you going somewhere? I said, no, I am not going anywhere. And then Justin responded, my mom's not going anywhere. And then Justin came into the car, pulling me on my lap, saying, come on, my mom doesn't want to go. She said she's not going anywhere. That is when John backhanded him like this to his chest. John proceeded to go a foot about. His feet were out of the car. Then I was yelling at John. John stopped the car. Justin got out. I got out. Then John came out of the car and was upset with Justin because Justin did not want me to go, and I didn't want to go. Justin was afraid for me to go. And John hit him on the shoulder then. Justin then went to throw the bike rim, because he was changing his tire, at John. Not at the car, but it did hit the car.
So you're telling me that the plaintiff put his hands on your son?
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. If it was true that it happened, that's something that you would have indicated in here. Let me tell you, in case you forgot what you swore to in your answer. You said, Justin was upset because he thought John was forcing me to leave and John was drunk. Justin was trying to get me out of the car. When John pulled away, John narrowly missed running over Justin's feet. That's when Justin threw the bike rim that cracked John's windshield. Nowhere in this statement do you say that he got out of the car and put his hands on your son, which any mother would say. So when I ask you a question, you may be in the right and you may not be responsible for what your son did. But if you lie to me, then I'll never know. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. So let's start again, and let's try to make the stories consistent.
Okay, I left the door open. Justin asked me if I was going somewhere. I said, no, I'm not going anywhere. And then Justin said, my mom's not going anywhere. John did, though, push him toward on his chest. He did. And Justin was pulling on me.
You were in the car at the time?
Yes, ma'am.
He was in the car at the time?
Yes, ma'am.
So he didn't get out of the car and hit him on the shoulder?
This was in the beginning.
He didn't get out of the car and hit him on the shoulder?
Not at that present time, no.
No, right.
And then, after John had stopped, Justin was out of the car. John did get out of the car and go to the lawn and hit Justin on his shoulder. He did.
Did you ever hit the child?
No, ma'am, I did not.
I don't believe that he hit him.
May I speak, ma'am?
Yes.
Well, after Justin broke the windshield, I sat there with, I'm astounded. My windshield's broke.
Where were you when the windshield was broken?
I was sitting on the driver's side with both doors closed.
And where was she sitting?
Right alongside of me, it's a bucket seat.
So she was actually sitting there
Yes.
when he hit the windshield?
Yes.
And what happened? What did Justin say after he cracked the windshield?
Next thing I know, I look over and Justin's sticking a wrench into the air vent. And I said, that's enough. I jumped out of the car. But I went towards Justin. But when I looked and seen that her oldest son was standing there, I says, no, no, no. I'll just go and call the police. I went home, which I have a police report. And it says that the mother didn't do anything.
No, she didn't.
She didn't do anything.
Justin, stand up next to your mother. You're 10 years old?
Yes.
Why did you crack his windshield?
Because he had hit me in the car.
He hit you? How did he hit you in the car?
He had reached over and hit me.
Where did he hit you?
In my chest.
You mean he pushed you? That's why you broke his windshield?
And then I hit my head on the window.
Oh, sit down. Before this thing escalated into a major confrontation with your son, why didn't you just get out of the car?
He asked me if he could speak with me.
What was he speaking to you about?
He wanted me to go up to the store with him first. He said, and then we can discuss matters, because we don't get along that well. And he's always calling Justin vulgar names, constantly.
And you had no right to be with him, madam, if he's calling your child vulgar names. Were you drinking that day, too?
No.
Were you drinking that day?
Yes.
Was she drinking that day?
No.
What are you doing behind the wheel of a car drinking?
I wasn't drinking in the car.
You had been drinking. What were you doing driving a car, having had things to drink?
I had a few beers, Your Honor.
Had no reason to get into the car.
But I was capable of driving the car, which
You
I
say.
know it was wrong.
You say.
Yes, ma'am.
You say. Have you ever been drunk in front of her child before?
Yes.
Has there ever been any incident of domestic violence between the two of you where you've been drinking?
I'd say no.
Yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
His behavior in the past has not been the kind of behavior that you want to expose your children to. And you continue to expose them to him because if he wasn't drinking on that day, there's always tomorrow. You got me?
And later today,
All the wires to the electrical things in my room were cut.
You were angry.
About what?
About what? About being evicted from the apartment.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. John Gorel says his ex-girlfriend's son, 10-year-old Justin Berezowski, smashed out his windshield. Justin says he retaliated after John hit him.
Mr. Corral, I believe that you are at least partially responsible for the atmosphere that was created on that day. You have a 10-year-old child who has seen you in a state where you are intoxicated. He's probably seen some instance of, if not real violence between the two of you, words that were exchanged that were not nice. And then you come over to the house, but clearly his desire not to have his mother leave with you, he tries to act like a protective man of the house. That doesn't mean that you are solely responsible, because I think his mother bears some of this responsibility. Because despite the fact that he says he has been intoxicated in front of you, intoxicated in front of your son, you continue to socialize with him.
You're right.
Right. And your son is outside, and you too know, or you should know as a mother, that your son has witnessed things that a 10-year-old should not witness. Right?
That's correct.
Okay. So,
would you please listen to this, Your Honor?
No.
I have
Please,
something else
it's
to
very
say, Your Honor,
important.
Listen to me. You think that you're not partially responsible?
No, I never said that.
Well, good. That's what I'm saying to you. The damage that we're talking about is $500. You're partially responsible. Put your hand down, sir. You're not paying good attention. You're not getting the whole picture. I get the picture. She likes to have a social relationship with you, even though the two of you together may not do the right thing all the time in front of this 10-year-old child, and the 10-year-old child is reacting to past history.
Can I say something, please?
Yes.
All I did, when he had called me, I asked him if he had been drinking, and he said no.
So, what
So
does
I
that have
did-
to do with what I just said to you? His behavior in the past has not been the kind of behavior that you want to expose your children to. And you have. And you continue to expose them to him, because if he wasn't drinking on that day, there's always tomorrow. You got me?
Yes, ma'am.
You got me? You have exposed your children to things that they should not have been exposed to. And if your son is reacting to that, you're partially responsible. He's partially responsible. But he's not his child. He's your child. So he bears half the cost. Suing for $500, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $250. You pay the rest. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I don't think I should have had to pay anything because he was provoked in it.
Takes two to tango.
Stay alone if you encounter men like this.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Higgs versus Culpepper. Step forward, please.
20-year-old college student Jennifer Higgs is suing former roommate, 18-year-old student Chantel Culpepper, for destroying her personal property. Chantal denies the charges.
Ms. Higgs, you and the defendant had been college roommates. Is that right? There were 3 girls in your suite?
No, there were 4.
According to your complaint, you had the defendant and at least one of the other gals moved out of the suite because you believed that one or both of them were involved in stealing some of your property.
Yes.
That's not what the lawsuit is about. The lawsuit is about some property of yours that was later vandalized.
Yes.
And you believe that the defendant was responsible for that. And there were 4 girls in the room.
Well, it was more like an apartment with 3 bedrooms. I had a single bedroom with myself. Chantal shared a room with Jasmine, and then there was another roommate named Michelle, who had her own room.
Now, there came a time when you found some of your items missing, and then later found your ATM card missing. And when you subsequently went to check, there was some $1,400 missing.
Yes.
Now, what made you think that the defendant and or this other young lady were involved in taking your credit card?
Because that occurred during February of this year. In January, our other roommate, Michelle, had moved out. So basically, it was myself, Chantal, and Jasmine who were in the apartment.
And you made a report of that?
Yes.
To whom?
To the campus police.
What happened as a result of that?
The bank took a while to get back to the detective, and they only keep the video for about a month. And by the time the bank got back to the detective, the tape was already erased.
Well, since there was really no proof that they had taken your credit card, tell me on what authority you believe they were in fact evicted from the apartment.
Well, basically, we weren't getting along. Other things became stolen. Shower products were being used. My food was constantly being eaten.
Okay. So they left. Now, what kind of damage was done to your things in the apartment?
The new handle was broken off of my bedroom door. It had been locked when I left. All the wires to the electrical things in my room were cut, like my TV, my PlayStation, my clock radio. Yes, it was actually cut.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jennifer Higgs says former college roommate Chantal Culpepper vandalized her property by cutting the cords to her electronic equipment.
When had the girls been evicted from the apartment?
Earlier that day, Chantal was helping Jasmine move her things out, but Chantal's stuff was still in the apartment when they left.
Was the front door to the apartment, was that locked when you came home?
Yes.
Other than the key that you had and that Chantal had and that Jasmine had, did anyone else have a key to your apartment other than management?
No.
Do you have any documentation for me, photographs or anything else?
Yes, I do have
I'd like to
photographs
see it, please.
Of the actual night. And I also have police reports.
See the photographs first. Okay, Ms. Culpepper, now I'll hear you.
Hi. First of all, we was friends, we was cool, we threw her a birthday party, you know, went out, hung out, everything. We didn't find out about the credit card until housing told us that Jennifer had been going about writing down reports and everything, and we thinking that we was cool, you know what I'm saying? We were just friends.
Let's get to the day that her property came up vandalized.
We wasn't under the impression that her property was vandalized because we had moved, Jasmine had helped me move out later on that night because we was already being kicked out of that apartment due to her saying that we was wasn't getting along.
Are you living together, the two of you?
No.
You still friends?
Yes.
Have you remained friends?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. One of the two of you cut the wires in her room.
No, we did not.
Yes, you did. Oh, yes, you did. You were angry.
About what?
About what? About being evicted from the apartment. 3 keys.
My wire was cut
3
too.
keys. I don't believe that she cut the wires on her own property and broke down her door. The police report indicates that the front door to the apartment, which was opened with a key, was not damaged. The only door lock that was damaged was the door to her room. The only people that were angry about the situation, as you've just described, you thought everything was cool, everything was wonderful, and all of a sudden you're evicted, were the two of you. The problem is, she doesn't know which one of you did it, or which one of your boyfriends did it, or whoever was helping you move did it. She doesn't know that. But it's clear to me that one of the two of you know who did it. No question in my mind, madam.
Okay. But like I said, we was moving out that night. Nothing was wrong with the apartment when we left.
So you mean somebody else just went in there?
No, she has the window onto the balcony. Anybody could have broke in there. She could have came in there.
Let me tell you why nobody did that except the two of you. Because if they came in to steal something, they would have come in and taken the property. They didn't take it. All they did was vandalize it so she couldn't use it. Now that's done by somebody who doesn't like her. Do we understand each other?
No, I'm sorry, I don't.
Well then, what year in college are you?
I'm a freshman, going on to my
Well, maybe
sophomore.
you'll understand when you're a junior. What made you choose this defendant as opposed to suing both of them?
Because with the front door, it actually records whose key was used.
Oh, and what time they used it?
Yes, I have a report from school, and it shows the times that she entered it. She entered 5 times while I was gone that night.
So that's why you chose her?
Yeah.
Are you user 1 or 2?
I don't know. They never gave me a copy of that. They said that was only for the plaintiff. They never gave me no information on
Well, let me give you this. You are user 2.
I was moving that night along with Jasmine helping me. So I had to come in and out the door. We are not allowed to keep the door open. So yes, I did use my key. When I came home, my wire was cut off my TV.
Did you make a report of that?
Yes, I did.
When?
May 12th.
The first report that you made that you had vandalized property was May 12th? This happened April 12th.
Okay.
So after they said her room was vandalized, you said my property was vandalized too?
Yeah, that's the whole reason
What
why
I'm
I
saying
moved.
to you is before you knew that her property was vandalized, when you first saw your TV wire cut, did you immediately call housing and say somebody's
No, I did
vandalized
not.
my... Of course not. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $370. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. This is case number 137 on the calendar in the matter of Lausanne versus Platt. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Miss Lausanne, while you were briefly separated from your husband, according to your complaint, the defendant and your husband were dating.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is your claim that you had some property in the storage unit. The defendant took the property out of the storage unit and now has it in her home. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
You want your property back.
Yes.
The defendant says she was told to take the property out by your husband, and she has a counterclaim for some nonsense that has to do with storing your property. We'll get to her counterclaim in a minute. During what period of time were you and your husband separated?
We separated the end of June in 2001, and we still were kind of trying to work it out into July.
During what period of time was he out of the home? From June of 2001 until when?
Till December of 2001. One, yes.
And at what period of time were you dating him?
From October until December.
Is that when you met him in October?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you tell me how it came about that you went to the storage unit and when and what property you removed.
Okay, Marty and I were moving into a place together, and we placed some things in storage.
When were you moving in together?
In November.
So you met in October, you moving in November?
Well, I've known him for years, but I started seeing him in October. We were moving into a place together.
How do you know him for years?
Small town. We both grew up there, same town.
Okay. So in November you decided to move in together. You were taking out a storage unit to put both your stuff?
Well, we didn't rent the storage unit. He said that he had a storage unit, and we placed some things in the storage unit together. And then he called and told me to remove the things from storage that we placed in there because it was Sheila's storage. She found out that our stuff was in there. She was going to turn the storage unit in.
So you put the stuff in storage in November?
Mm-hmm.
And when did you remove the stuff from the storage unit?
I want to say in January or February.
After they had reconciled?
Well, I didn't know that they were back together. Marty had left town on work, and that's the last I heard. I didn't know that him and Sheila were back together.
So when you say you want to say in January or February, could it have been
early
December?
February.
Early February?
Yeah.
So in February you removed the stuff. When was the last time you saw Marty?
Beginning of January, when he left town to go to work.
And when did he move back with you?
We technically haven't moved back in together. He, like she said, he works out of town, and he stays at the job site and just comes home like on the weekends, and sometimes he works straight through.
But you haven't seen him since January?
No, ma'am.
And you know that they're back together?
I
assume that you've spoken to Marty?
No, I haven't.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You mean he didn't call to say,
well, the last time
I'm not coming home?
No, the last time I talked to him, he told me to get the stuff out of storage because Sheila was upset about it being in there.
Oh. To get your stuff out of storage?
Well, the words that he said is you need to take the things out of storage. So I'm assuming it's Marty's storage.
All right, Miss Platt, Sheila's upset about it. You need to take the stuff out of storage. That could have meant just your stuff out of storage, right?
It could have.
Yeah, sure.
It could have.
And you hadn't spoken to him since January, so I assume that you knew he wasn't coming home. 6 months later, you know he's not coming home.
Oh, yes. Yes, ma'am.
Now, when for the first time did the plaintiff call you and tell you she wanted her stuff?
I want to say in March.
And what did you tell her in March when she called?
That, as far as I knew, the things belonged to Marty, and when Marty called me to tell me to give her the things, then I would return the things.
Oh, you know. How many times did she call you in March?
Oh, a lot.
Did she call you in January or February?
Oh, yeah.
When?
Always.
What do you mean always?
Always. I mean, anytime she felt like picking up the phone.
Let's talk about March. After you told her you're not getting the stuff back till Marty calls, because I assume you wanted to talk to Marty, which would have been the decent thing to do, right? To talk to him.
Yes.
On his part. Is that when the harassment started by the plaintiff?
Well, I mean, it's pretty much always been there. I mean, she's calling, she's going to turn the phone off because the phone's in Marty's name. She's going to turn the utilities off because they're in Marty's name. She's going to call social services and make a claim on me for not taking care of my kids.
You mean since March?
Since January is basically when it really got pretty out of hand.
Okay. What property do you have that Miss Platt has in her basement?
I do have a list. Do you want me just want to read it off?
I'd like to see it.
Okay.
Conditioner, stereo, Canon camera, camping tent and equipment, vacuum, some clothes, a couple of lamps, blankets, pictures, VCR tapes and movies, a couple of small fans, miscellaneous knickknacks, a small clock radio, and one phone. Is that what you have?
A lot of the stuff is in boxes, so I'm not exactly sure what's in it, but...
And where is all the stuff, in the basement?
In my basement.
Good. You or Marty have to make arrangements to go and get the stuff. When's a good time for you to have them come and pick up the stuff?
Anytime's a good time for me, as long as Marty... Tell Marty to call me for the things.
Well, listen to me. I'm creating an order. Marty doesn't have to do anything.
Okay.
I think it's probably a good idea that a third party go over there to get the stuff. I understand your anger.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I understand your anger. But that's not her fault.
I don't live in Michigan anymore.
Where do you live?
I live in North Carolina.
And where is all this stuff?
The things are in my home in Michigan.
Okay, so they're in Michigan. And who lives there?
My brother and his wife.
Okay, so they don't have to have any contact with you when they go there to pick up the stuff. Fine. Your anger shouldn't be directed towards her. Your anger, if there is any, should be directed towards Marty.
Yes, ma'am.
Who I see is cowardly enough not to be here today.
Exactly.
Thank you. Crawling under a rock someplace, you know, where he's working.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Forget about Marty. He's not worth it.
Oh, I know.
You want him to be a man. He's not. He's her problem.
And later today,
I question why you would permit this violent, abusive man to whittle into your family business.
My mother was dying. She liked Bill. We all did at one time.
But she had no idea the extent of his behavior.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sheila Lazan says her husband's ex-girlfriend, Robin Platt, entered her storage unit and took her belongings.
Listen to me. You two ladies shouldn't have any issues with each other.
I mean, the only issue I have with her is that, I mean, she won't stop calling me.
She's going to stop calling you as soon as she gets her stuff.
I mean, I've had to leave the state to get away from her.
She won't stop calling you because you have her stuff.
I have Marty's stuff.
No, her stuff. They're married. If they're married, then the property belongs... How long have you been married to old Marty?
5 years.
The property... Shh! The property belongs to both of them.
Okay.
And if it turns out that I'm wrong, and if it turns out to be Marty's stuff, Marty should have been here to say, I want my stuff. Yeah. It's mine. It's not marital property.
Ask. That's all I ever ask, for him to tell me.
Just to
give it to her.
You want him to be a man and call and do the right thing. It's beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
He's not.
Okay.
All right? He's not. But your issue really isn't with her. So, what date? 5 days from today's date? You want to go and get your stuff?
Yep.
Okay. Your counterclaim really is for storage fees, for storing this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Your counterclaim is nonsense. She called you practically immediately and she said, I want my stuff back. You said, no, you kept it. You're not entitled to storage fees. And as far as the harassment is concerned, this is telephone harassment?
Yes,
ma'am. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, it was local harassment until I left that town and moved it to North Carolina. And I mean, I moved to North Carolina to get away from her. And I mean, she's still calling my house in North Carolina.
What is she calling for?
Oh, just whatever. Anything.
No. What is she calling for?
Just to say what she has to say. I mean...
Like what?
Oh, you know, you need to give my things back.
Right.
I'll come over there and slap you.
Right. She wants her things back. That's going to end all of the trouble. She wants her things back. Whether she says, Miss Platt, I would really like you to give me my things back, or she uses some profanity to get the message across, that's not harassment. You could have put this whole thing aside a long time ago by just turning over the stuff to her. And if Marty had a problem with that, then Marty would have had to have called you, which is really what you wanted in the beginning. Forget about Marty. He's not worth it.
Oh, I know. You're not telling me nothing
home.
new.
He's her problem. Got it? All right, court will prepare an order, 5 days. You go pick up your property, that's all. Counterclaims dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He's a coward for not being here.
Marty just told me to give the stuff back. I gave it back.
Once your husband moves out and lives with another woman, forget him.
Don't mess with them dudes.
I'm left with a loser.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Brewer versus O'Reilly. Step forward, please.
Sales manager Bill Brewer is suing his ex-mother-in-law, retired postal worker Val O'Reilly, for an unpaid loan to visit her family. Val says the money was a gift so she could pay for her mother's funeral.
Mr. Brewer, how long were you married to the defendant's daughter?
Approximately 2 years, Your Honor.
Is this your former wife?
Yes, it is.
Do you have children together?
No, we did not.
And how long did you know her before you married her?
Approximately 2 years.
So you've known Miss O'Reilly for 4 years, or at the time of the divorce.
yes.
And you claim a loan to her, a recent loan, in the amount of $1,500. Is that right?
Back in April of 2001, yes.
In what year were you divorced from her daughter?
We split up in March of 2000.
And you maintained a reasonable relationship with the defendant?
Yes. After we split up, we probably talked at least maybe once, twice a month. You know, we'd just chat to see how things were going. She cared about what was going on, and she honestly didn't like what her daughter was doing to me. So, yeah, I thought we had a civil friendship, and we chatted and emailed and stuff like that, yes.
Did you give her a check for this loan?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have the check?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it, please.
If I can add also, Your Honor, 2 weeks before I had loaned her the money, the defendant's daughter had called me and asked if I wanted to buy the ring back. And
buy what ring back?
The wedding ring. Because when we split up, I asked for it back anyways, and of course that wasn't the right thing to do.
Was your wife at that time living with her mother?
No, she wasn't.
Now tell me about this loan in April of 2001. What was it for?
Well, the defendant would like to go to Florida to see her sister, I think yearly. So she called me, said, Bill, if at all possible, she wasn't threatening me, if at all possible, do you have some money I can borrow? I need to put some money down for my ticket and the hotel room and whatnot. At the time, I was, still trying to be a decent guy, had a little extra money in the bank, and I said, sure, no problem. She agreed to pay me back in August. I said, okay, I could do that for you, Val, because I thought we had somewhat of a decent relationship still.
And she never paid you back?
No, ma'am, no.
Okay. Now, Miss O'Reilly, in what month did your mother die?
My mother died in April of 2001, Your Honor.
When in April?
The 29th of April.
Okay. Now I'd like to hear what your defense is, because I find that interesting.
My mother was 93 years old, and she was in a nursing home, and she was dying. The first part of April, they didn't think that she would live very much longer.
She died April 29th, according to you.
Right, that's when she died, but she was dying.
She was sick.
Hospice was called in, and she wanted to, since she and Bill Brewer were friends and they were on a good rapport together, she liked Bill. We all did at one time. She asked hospice to call him and tell him goodbye for her, that she was dying. They didn't expect her to live.
Did that happen?
No, ma'am. They never called.
Just a second. Would you get to the $1,500, please?
Okay. They called him and told him she was dying. He called back and said he was sorry that she was, going to die.
Would you get to the...
I told him that she had bought her lot years ago, that her cremation was paid for, because he asked me how she was going to be buried. And I said she was going to be cremated. And I couldn't believe that, because even when she owned the lot, that it would cost $500 to open the grave to put her ashes in the grave. That amazed me. Then it would cost $200 more for an urn. It had to be bronze. I couldn't put her ashes in the box that came in from the crematorium. And the marker was $800. And I said that Graham, that's what we called her, Graham would just have to wait a while before I could do this. And he said, don't worry about it. He said, I'm making good money now. And he said, let this be my gift to you. It was a gift. Because he thought so much of my mother.
And you say that this conversation took place while your mother was still living?
She was dying, yes.
While she was still living,
yes.
You had this conversation with him?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Bill Brewer says ex-mother-in-law Val O'Reilly owes for a loan to visit her family. Val says the money was a gift.
All right. Now, what I find interesting about your position, Miss O'Reilly, is I want you to look at this document. Tell me if this is your signature. Is that your signature?
Yes, it is my signature.
Good. Can I see the document back, please? That is your sworn answer to his complaint. And I'm going to read to you what you wrote. In April of 2001, my 93-year-old mother passed away. The plaintiff had been very fond of my mother and called to give me his condolences shortly after she passed away. I told him that she would be cremated and mentioned I couldn't believe the cost of the urns, services, and burial. He was sympathetic and said he would give me the $1,500 towards the burial as a gift because he cared so much about my mother and wanted to do this for me. That's what you swore to. Do you understand that that's what you swore to?
Yes, Your Honor. May I say something, please?
No. That's what you swore to. And your mother died the 29th of April. This check was written to you on the 20th of April, 9 days before your mother died. You understand?
Yes, I did.
Your answer does not support this.
It was a stressful month. It was full of trauma. She was dying. She had hospital
This
call
is not
here.
a stressful month, madam. We are talking about some 13 or 14 months later. 13 or 14 months later, you wrote, he called to give me his condolences shortly after she passed away. You told me she died on the 29th of April. The check that he wrote to you was on the 20th of April, 9 days before she died.
Right. I had talked to him previously before then, before she died.
That's what you just told me now. That's not what you swore to in your answer. He has no responsibility to pay for your mother's burial.
No,
What
he
I
didn't.
want to
He
know is
offered
what
it as a
changed your
gift.
mind between the time that he gave you this $1,500 and the time that you were supposed to pay him back. Something happened with your daughter? Were they separated and going through a divorce? Is there something negative that happened during that 6-month period? And I will ask you, Mr. Brewer, to tell me.
Well, I didn't think there was anything out of the ordinary. Yeah, we were separated. We were going through a divorce.
When were you ultimately divorced?
It wasn't until, I'd say, August of 2001. Yeah, right about the time that she was going to pay me back.
Did you both have lawyers in the divorce?
It was a simple divorce, so we just...
So there was no issue of property, no issue of money?
No children, no property, no.
Is that right? You can stand up.
I'd like to shed a little light on this divorce situation and his behavior. It was anything but civil. The man professed his love for me one day and tried to choke me to death the next. He was very violent. He's a very unpredictable, erratic, temperamental person.
Your Honor, does this have any bearing in the...
Just a second.
I'm just stating the facts.
Your mother filed an answer that is totally inconsistent with the facts in this case. Her answer says he gave her this money after your grandmother died when he called to offer his condolences, and she said she was short for the burial. The check was written 9 days before your grandmother died, which is totally inconsistent with her testimony. As far as I'm concerned, he has absolutely no responsibility to pay for your grandmother's funeral.
Correct,
The
but
dates
he offered it.
dates are off, and if you were going through an acrimonious time with him, and if you say he is abusive, controlling, and threatening, I would question why you would permit, because you're an adult, you're over 21, clearly, why you would permit this violent, abusive man to whittle into your family business by paying for your grandmother's funeral.
I urged her not to take the money.
Good, then you should have said, I'll give you the money.
I urged her, but she had no idea the extent of his behavior.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, excuse me. Step out. Now, this is case number 71 on the calendar in the matter of Lewis versus Goodman. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Mr. Lewis, it is your claim that the defendant filed a false police report about you causing your arrest. You spent, according to what I read, about 16 days in jail as a result of that arrest. Is that right?
Correct.
And you want to be compensated.
Correct.
Tell me how this all started.
Well, it originally started when I met her. I was chatting with her over the internet. Came to be that I wound up moving to the city where she was from because I was offered a job there. She was married at the time. I decided to meet her. Her husband was supposed to come with us, but he didn't show up, so we just became friends. My roommate that I was living with at the time had started dating her friend.
Don't give me all this social relationships.
Okay.
I'm really not interested. Cut to the chase. You met her on the internet. You moved to where she was living.
Right.
You became friends.
Right. Okay. Then it came to a point where I needed a vehicle. My friend, Vinny here, owns a car lot in Daytona Beach. I called him up and told him I needed a vehicle. I told him that I didn't want the vehicle in my name.
Why not?
Because I had did a deposition for him in his divorce trial. And his wife, being the one that he's divorcing, works at the car lot also. If she'd have saw the title in my name, knowing that I did the deposition, you know, for him, that would have looked kind of fishy, as if like he was trying to bribe me or something. Right. So, and I was, you know, paying him for the vehicle, and so we didn't want it to look like he was just bribing me with the vehicle. So Mary had agreed to put it in her name, and she had the insurance policy to put it on there with, so we did that. Okay.
So your friend, your new friend, agreed to put the car in her name.
Correct.
But she wasn't paying for the car.
Correct. Until I paid off, I was going to pay him $1,200 for the vehicle, and then once it got paid off, then it was going to be switched over to my name. So.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Then I had it for roughly a month or so, and I decided to move back to Panama City where my kids live. And whenever I walked out of my house, probably 4 or 5 days after I was back into town, the vehicle was gone. The
You
truck
mean
was
you
gone.
moved back to Panama City?
Correct.
And when you walked out one day, there was no car?
It was just gone, right.
Okay.
So I called the police department and told them, you know, I need to check to see if it's been towed. So they said, well, we don't have any record of that. I said, well, I need to report it stolen then. So the police department came out. The cop got there and he asked for my ID and I handed it to him. And immediately after handing it to him, he put me in handcuffs and told me I was being arrested for stealing the vehicle. And I was just shocked. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what was going on. Then, you know, I get to the police department and they told me that it was out of Polk County, which was where she's from, and that she had, you know, signed a statement saying that I stole the vehicle from her. So.
Okay. And it was a result of that report that you were arrested and incarcerated?
Correct.
You had no other outstanding warrants or anything
No.
else? So it was based solely on the report that she made?
Correct.
Do you have a copy of that police report?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it, please. Okay, I'll hear you.
Your Honor, when I did all this for Mike, I did it as a friend, and Mike
You mean
was not-
allowing the car to be put in your name?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
He was not making the payments on the vehicle because when he went home for Thanksgiving, Vinny's wife had the truck repossessed from his mother's house. I guess he paid Vinny some money and got the truck back and then came back to Polk County where I live. Didn't want to pay me the money for the insurance, so I told him, I said, then you're not going to take this truck. You're not driving around in a truck.
So he was supposed to give you money for insurance?
Yes, ma'am. He was supposed to pay for the insurance.
Okay.
I said, you're not going to drive around in a truck with no insurance that's in my name. You know, if he would have gotten in an accident, it would have been me, you know, myself on the line. And I later found out that he didn't even have a driver's license at the time. That's the reason that I went ahead and filed the police report. Before I filed the police report, because I told him, I said, leave the truck with me. If you're not going to pay for the insurance, you're not taking it.
Did you have that conversation?
No, the conversation was that her husband had found out that she had put the insurance in her on the policy or whatever for the truck, and that he canceled the policy. So I told her, I said, the most I owe you is a month's insurance, not the whole premium, which was like $200 and some odd. And I said, I'm not going to pay you the whole premium.
It was $600 for 6 months.
Or whatever it was. I said, the most I owe you is a month. And I said, and not one point, not at one time did she say, do not take the truck.
Yes,
now,
I did.
my roommate was there at the time, and he was saying, don't take the truck. But the reason why he was saying it was because that was his only means of transportation, was me and him riding together, and he didn't want me to take it. He wanted to keep it there.
Well, let me ask you this question, Mr. Lewis. At the time that you took the truck, did you have insurance?
I don't know, to be honest with you, because I had the insurance card.
Well, if you just a second. If you don't know whether you had insurance, then you didn't have insurance. If you don't know, then you don't have it. Now, at the time that you took the truck, did you have a valid driver's license?
I didn't know it wasn't valid at the time. I really didn't. I didn't know that until I got to put in jail for it. Not for that, but for this. I didn't know that I had...
What was the reason that you didn't have a valid driver's license, Mr. Lewis?
I was in a motorcycle accident the year before, and I didn't work for 8 months, and I got a ticket for the motorcycle accident, and I wasn't able to pay the ticket, and that's what suspended my license.
That's baloney.
No, that's very true.
There's something more to that.
No, that is the God's honest truth.
When you had the motorcycle accident, was there any alcohol involved?
No, ma'am.
So you didn't pay one ticket and they suspended your license?
Well, there
Is
was
that what
actually
you're
3
telling me?
tickets. There was 3 tickets total.
So you were irresponsible in not paying for the ticket. Is that right, Mr. Lewis?
No, it was either paying my child support or paying my tickets, and if my child support didn't get paid, I would have been put in jail. So whenever I was getting unemployment from a motorcycle accident, I either had to pay my child support or pay these tickets.
How much were the tickets, Mr. Lewis?
A total of $600 and some odd.
And what were the tickets for, Mr. Lewis?
One was for no motorcycle endorsement. One was for...
Just a second. What does that mean, no motorcycle endorsement?
In Florida, you have to have, if you ride a motorcycle, you have to have a endorsement for riding a motorcycle.
What is an endorsement, Mr. Lewis? Let's talk English.
As far as I know, it's just a class that you take to say that you're qualified to ride a motorcycle.
So you didn't take a class in order to ride a motorcycle. Is that what you're telling me?
Correct. I was just simply going on a joyride around the block with somebody, so it wasn't
Lewis,
that I owned a motorcycle.
Mr. Lewis, all right. So you got a ticket because you did the wrong thing by riding a motorcycle without having a proper endorsement.
Correct.
What was the second ticket for, Mr. Lewis?
Improper turn, I think is what it was, or improper something. I'm not sure what it was. It was because when I turned onto the road, I had lost control of the bike, and a truck hit me, and I went into oncoming traffic. So
And what was the third ticket for, Mr. Lewis?
For, I think they call it careless driving because of that. So it's either careless driving or reckless driving. I couldn't remember what they said it was. So.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You did not pay her for the insurance.
Correct.
You did not have your own insurance policy.
No.
You did not have a valid driver's license.
But I didn't know that.
You didn't know a lot of things.
And later today,
She took some property of yours.
A blouse, some art pads, and I had some Disney books.
Are we talking about nonsense? Are we talking nonsense?
I suppose so.
All right. I don't want to talk about a blouse. I don't have time for a blouse.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Mike Lewis says former friend Mary Goodman had him falsely arrested for grand theft auto.
Okay, so let me understand this, Mr. Lewis. You were driving a car that was not in your name, that you had put in her name because of some problem that you had with a deposition.
No, it wasn't a problem.
Yeah, that's the story you're telling me now. So you had the car put in her name. You were supposed to pay her directly for the insurance.
Right.
And you did not pay her.
Not for that month, correct.
You did not pay her for the insurance.
Correct.
You did not have your own insurance policy.
No.
You did not have a valid driver's license.
I did when I started.
You did not have a
Not at the
valid
time.
driver's
Not at the time.
license.
But I didn't know that.
Whether you knew it or not, you didn't know a lot of things. And you knew that you should not be driving the car because your roommate told you, don't take the car because you don't have insurance.
Well, see, the reason why I
Your roommate told you, don't take the car because you don't have insurance.
Correct, but I also thought that the reason why he was saying that was because he wanted it to stay there because he would have had no way to work. That's why
That's why you thought he was saying that.
Correct.
But the truth is, you didn't have insurance.
To be honest with you, I don't know because it was in her name.
Well, to be honest with you, Mr. Lewis, I was thoroughly prepared to rule in your favor reading the papers, because according to the papers, it appeared to me that Miss Goodman was being vindictive when she filed a false police report
Well, Your Honor,
indicating, I'm speaking, indicating that you had stolen the car. But what she said was, in her affidavit, is that you took the car without permission. The car was in her name. You had been using the car. Then she told you not to use the car because there was no insurance. You say no, she says she told you. If she didn't tell you, your roommate told you don't take the car because you don't have insurance. Now, what do you think would have happened? Do you own a home?
No, ma'am. I live with a roommate.
Do you have a car?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a bank account?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you work?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what can happen, Mr. Lewis, is if you get into another accident because you are A, making a wrong turn, or B, driving recklessly like you did with your motorcycle, you don't lose anything.
Wrong. The motorcycle that
She loses, I'm speaking, she loses everything. You had no driver's license, you have no insurance, but the car is titled in her name, which means she is responsible. Her bank account is responsible, her automobile is responsible, and everything she had could be tossed to go to pay if you have another accident in an uninsured motor vehicle that's in her name. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, but...
Good, your case is dismissed, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
They arrested me and took me to jail for stealing the vehicle.
He was responsible for paying for the insurance and for paying for the truck.
I had wound up spending 2 weeks in jail because of this.
I didn't want things to come to the point they came to where he had to be arrested to begin with.
I spent a week or 2 weeks in jail, and I missed a whole week with my kids for Christmas that year.
He did miss time with his children, which I feel bad about.
If she didn't think I should have the vehicle, she should have went to a civil court.
Mike and I were good friends, and I did tell him not to take the truck.
Not once did that ever come out of her mouth, not once.
Do for yourself. Don't try to do any favors for other.
Pick better friends.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Cochran versus Saylor. Step forward, please.
Film operator Mary Cochran is suing her former roommate, 19-year-old cashier Jackie Saylor, for unpaid rent, an unpaid car loan, and the return of her personal belongings. Jackie says Mary has already been paid.
Miss Cochran, the defendant and her baby moved into your home.
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint, you were being nice to her. How did you know her?
I met her at work.
And she needed a place to stay with her baby?
No, she had an apartment at the time. I was really quite impressed with her when I met her. She was 18 and working very hard to take care of her baby on her own. She went to work like 2 weeks after she delivered this baby. I thought that was quite admirable. And she was living in the apartment. It was very tiny. She was always telling me how her aunt and the rest of her family complained about helping her out, taking her places, doing things, watching the child, so on and so forth. And I was about to begin to go through a divorce myself, and I thought that it would help her out to get her out of this teeny apartment, and it would help me out to have someone additionally at the house. She could go ahead and move in with me. I told
You have children?
No, ma'am, I do not.
So you just wanted her in your house for company?
No, I thought it would help us both. We had became friends at work.
Okay, but it was for company, not to watch your children in exchange for living.
Right,
okay.
certainly.
Your lawsuit seeks a couple of things. First, you say that you helped her out, purchased a car. She put down the down payment on the car, and you put the rest of the payments on your credit card, and she was supposed to pay you back. Is that right?
Not quite.
Okay, well, tell me where I'm wrong.
What we had done is we put the entire amount on the credit card, and then she made the payment. She had managed to save $1,100.
So she made a big payment?
She made big payments to me.
And then she was supposed to make?
She was supposed to pay at least the minimum on the credit card bill to pay it off.
Okay. And you claimed that there was still a balance owed for
Yes,
the car?
ma'am, there is.
Then, despite the fact that when she first moved in, there was no agreement that she pay rent, you say that at some point she wanted to pay rent, and you agreed that she would give you some money for rent, and she owes you for 2 months' rent. Did she ever pay you rent?
Yes, ma'am, she did.
How many months did she pay rent?
She paid me for May. She came to me in April and said that she felt bad. And I told her, you know, I could certainly use it if she didn't mind. And she paid me May's rent, and she paid me all but $25 of June's rent.
Okay, so what does she owe you for July?
She owes me the $25 for June and the $250, which was the figure that she chose.
When did you move out?
She
Ms.
moved
Saylor?
out.
I moved out on August 6th.
Did you pay July's rent?
No, I did not pay July's rent.
Okay. And then you say when she moved out, she took some property of yours. You want to tell me what property she took of yours?
I have the list here. A blouse, some art pads and books she was interested in drawing and such, and I had some Disney books. A couple of the things that are on here, she did return to me prior to our initial...
Are we talking about nonsense? I don't want to talk about nonsense. I want to concentrate on important stuff. Is some stuff that you gave her? Like
yes, and I have deducted that amount.
Are we talking about nonsense with the things that she took from the house? I don't want to talk about a blouse. I don't have time for a blouse. You know. Are we talking nonsense?
I suppose so.
All right, I don't want to talk nonsense. We're talking about July's rent, and we're talking about the car. How much do you claim she still owes on the car?
She still owes me $2,452.82.
Can I see what documentation you have, please?
And that also includes the futon that she bought. That's all on the same card.
Did you buy a futon?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you take it with you when you moved out?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Was this credit card used solely for her?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that correct?
Yes.
You paid some off. You say you paid everything off.
I paid what we originally agreed. We didn't talk about interest in the original agreement. I had no idea I was supposed to be paying her interest. When I was paying
Well, you're not paying her interest.
Well, the card. She told me I didn't have to pay the interest on the card.
Did she?
Yes. There was no agreement about me paying interest.
No, there's a difference between no agreement.
She didn't tell me anything. She said that, I mean, there was no talk about it at all.
But how do you think that the credit card company makes their money? Finance charges how credit cards make their money. If you don't pay the whole thing off, then you have to pay the finance charges. She's not charging it to you. They're charging it.
Well, I mean, I think
Who's supposed to pay the interest on the credit card? She allows you to buy a car and took out the money from the credit card. And you're not paying the whole amount off at one time. You're paying little bits at a time, right?
Yes.
Well, who's supposed to pay the interest to the credit card company? 17% interest. Who's supposed to pay that?
I mean, we didn't... I was 18 years old. I didn't know nothing about credit. I mean, she didn't even bring it up. I didn't know nothing about it. I'd never used a credit card before.
You don't live on Pluto, madam. You know that credit cards...
Yes, ma'am.
You know that credit cards charge interest. That's how they make money. You're not stupid, are you?
No.
How much in payments did you make in total?
I'm not exactly sure. I didn't get receipts from her. I just paid her, you know, cash. Whenever I had extra cash, I would give her whatever I had. The payments ranged from $100. Once I paid her $200, almost $300, just whatever I had extra that I didn't have to buy diapers and stuff with.
Why did you leave?
I left because when she met her boyfriend, she was staying out a lot, and she wasn't taking care of her pets. They had fleas. She wouldn't get rid of the fleas in the house. I had to feed them and clean up after them. They would come in and make messes and then leave, and I would clean it up. And I just decided that I didn't want to anymore, so I moved out.
Where did you go?
I went to my father's.
Did you take your car?
Yeah.
What kind of car is it?
It's a Pontiac Grand Am.
Well, with the $250 in rent, you owe $2,703 to the plaintiff. That's what you owe her. You paid a lot off, because the original price of the car was $3,375.01. And when was that purchased? March 20th of '01? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So you paid a substantial amount off, but 150, 100, 150, that doesn't go to pay all of that off in a year. Do you understand? Because your defense is that you paid off the whole car. And even from what you tell me, you couldn't have paid off the whole car. Anyway, there are no other charges on this car other than that. So judgment is for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,703. Anything else that I have to decide? Nothing. Thank you. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may answer this case number 16 on the calendar in the matter of Green versus Tomlin. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, please.
Mr. Green, you and the defendant lived together for a period of time, broke up. She moved out.
Yes, Your Honor.
And it is your claim that she came back sometime later and took several items from the house that belonged to you. One was your cat, and the other is some jewelry.
Yes, Your Honor.
Defendant says that the cat really belonged to both of you, but was more attached to her. And as far as the jewelry is concerned, her answer is sort of, she took it.
Well,
so let me get some dates from you. When did you start to live together?
Well, this is probably like back in '99.
And when was the cat purchased?
July 2000.
Did you purchase it from somebody?
Yes, I purchased from a good friend of mine. I have the receipt showing that I purchased the cat.
What kind of cat was it?
Snowshoe cat.
Snowshoe cat?
Yes, ma'am.
Heard of that. Is that a pedigree cat?
Yeah.
What does it look like?
Well, I have a picture too, Your Honor, of the cat.
Could I see it?
And on the back of the picture, when she stole the cat from me.
Okay, so now I see the cat. When did the two of you separate?
November 2001, we separated.
Okay, is that when you moved out?
Mm-hmm.
Was it just the two of you living together?
Us and our 2 children.
You have 2 children together?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are the 2 children?
2 and 3 years old.
And you took the children with you?
At the time, yeah.
Where are they now?
Right now, they're with a babysitter.
But I take care of them, they live with me.
The children do live with him.
They live with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is that by court order?
No, ma'am.
That was by agreement of the 2 of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when did you take the cat?
The beginning of January. When
Why?
I came back to get my things. The main reason for me leaving in the first place is because I found out he was cheating on me.
Okay.
So when I came...
But you came back in January.
Mm-hmm. And I got my
Excuse me,
things.
Your Honor. That's not true. I wasn't cheating on her. It was a rumor that her friend
No.
spread to her.
No.
Okay, I'm not going there.
Okay.
I'm talking about the cat.
Right.
You came back in January. You had not taken the cat in November.
No.
So you came back in January.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you take the cat in January?
When I came back in January, I got all of my things. I picked up all of my things and everything. I just felt the cat would be better off with me.
Excuse me, Your Honor. May I say something? Before we even started, dating, I had another cat, and my cat passed away. I bought this cat, and, it took a lot of pressure off of me from my first cat being deceased, and it meant a lot to me sentimentally, and I don't understand why this woman would take my cat from my house.
She took the cat because she was angry.
I understand that, but she...
How's that? She took the cat because she was angry.
Your Honor, I have some letters that the defendant was writing me, threatening me about my cat.
Let me see that.
And things that she took from me.
I'm not going to get to the other things until I finish with the cat.
Okay.
Do you understand? One thing at a time. You were very angry.
Excuse me.
Shh. All right. Now let's get to the jewelry. When you came back in January, you took some jewelry that belonged to him. Tell me what you took.
It was a chain with a pendant and a Rolex watch. It was in a box.
And the Rolex watch belonged to?
Nathaniel.
Where did Nathaniel get the Rolex watch from?
He says from his father.
Why did you take the jewelry? For the same reason you took 2?
At the time that I took the box and everything, I was angry. I didn't care about how he felt or anything because...
Well, you wanted him to feel badly.
Yeah.
Listen to me. You have 2 children together. Do you visit your children?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so you see them regularly?
Mm-hmm.
What's supposed to happen is that when a relationship doesn't work out, I don't care how long it is, in this case it's since 1999, you're not supposed to go through hating. You're supposed to say, it didn't work out, terrible, he hurt me, he violated me, but I have 2 children with him, and I want to have a reasonable relationship with him just for the sake of the children. So I don't want to do anything that's going to long-term continue this hate. Do you understand?
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Mr. Green, you feel as if you need a cathartic experience here. Is there anything else you want to say to me?
Yes, as far as my Rolex watch, my father had left it to me. He had passed away, and it was real sentimental to me. And this woman, she hurt me. I really do still love this woman because we have kids and I want to work it out, but I could never trust her again. I don't even think she has my stuff anymore.
She has your stuff.
I have the cat.
Where's the other stuff?
I pawned it.
Where?
MCDs, I think it's called.
When did you pawn it?
February.
When does the ticket expire?
I'm not sure.
I'm never going to see my stuff again, Your Honor. I'm never.
I'm really not sure.
Well, didn't you think you should find that out before you came here today? How much did you pawn it for?
The watch was $4,000. The chain was $1,900, I think.
And what'd you do with the money?
Well, right now, like I said, I'm in between places. That's why the children are with him, so.
She has no stable life, Your Honor.
No, I don't, honestly.
Well, I'm asking you, what did you do with the money?
At that point, I bought some things.
She's a
I
liar,
was
Your
staying
Honor.
with someone,
She's a
so
liar.
I gave my sister some money also.
Listen, let me tell you this, Mr. Green. Your lawsuit seeks $2,600 from Ms. Tomlin. That's
Right.
what you're suing her for.
Right, ma'am.
Okay, that has nothing to do with the cat because you're talking about the jewelry. She
Right.
got a lot more for the jewelry. Now, I don't know whether she can get it back. I'm not sure how long these pawn tickets are good for. Whether they're good for 30 days or 60 days
I've been trying
or
to get
90
my
days.
jewelry back all this time, Your Honor.
She made a very, very bad mistake.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And later today,
Did you ever take her out for dinner?
No, not really. I ain't spend no big money on her.
I'm not talking about big money. I'm asking you, went on a date. Did you pay?
Not really, because she wanted to pay for everything. She wanted to pay for everything, you know.
All right, listen, you must be absolutely wonderful.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Nathaniel Green says ex-girlfriend Takai Tomlin stole his jewelry and his cat named too. Takai says she only took what she was entitled to.
You have to start to be smart, Mr. Green. I said it to her. I don't know if she's accepting it, but you have to be smart. Right now, you have your 2 children living with you. They have a mother. The mother sees the children. I don't know whether this relationship will come together again. It may. In the meantime, she has to do the right thing. Give you back your cat. Do you understand? And give you back your jewelry. Miss Tomlin, do you understand?
Yes.
And then you will not be so angry with her. She may still continue to be angry at you, but she will be able to see her children with a lighter heart. You're not supposed to continue to dredge up the past.
I tried working with her. I tried working with her. I tried getting back my stuff for a matter of time.
Sorry, Mr. Green. I really thought I could get at least your father's watch back for you. But if she sold it, there's nothing I can do for you except give you the judgment that you're requesting and suggest to you that she did the wrong thing. I think that at this point, at least I hope she knows she did the wrong thing. In the scheme of things, I know that you're hurt because you don't have your stuff, but you have the most important possessions, and that's your 2 children. Do you understand?
Right. Your Honor, how am I sure that I'm getting my cat back, Your Honor?
I will prepare an order that you get your cat back, and you can use a sheriff or a marshal to ensure
I've
that you
been I've been trying to be nice to this woman, work with this woman, and she know that how I feel about my cat.
Mr. Green, all I can do is prepare an order. If she refuses to give you the cat, I think it's a big mistake because you have custody of your 2 children. If she wants to continue to be able to enjoy a reasonable flow of visitation with the children, with the person who has custody, that's their father, then what she's supposed to do is do the right thing. You did the wrong thing with regard to the jewelry. Now you better do the right thing with regard to the cat so that he doesn't have to go and get a marshal to enforce the order. Do you understand, Miss Tomlin? He has physical custody and takes care of the most precious things that the 2 of you have together, and that's your children. Not the cat, and not the Rolex, and not the chain and pendant. So you're supposed to do the right thing, not the wrong thing. Grow up. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount requested in your suit, $2,600. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
My father's watch and my cat, she knew how I really felt about it, and she really wanted to hurt me, and she succeeded.
Now knowing I have a conscience and I feel bad that I hurt him. It's too bad he didn't feel that way about me.
She said if I keep on calling her trying to get my stuff back, I wouldn't get my stuff back, and I found my cat in the pet cemetery.
Everything I wrote and said, I did out of anger.
When you have kids, try to work things out, you know, because you're hurting the kids in the long run.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Johnson versus White, step forward, please.
23-year-old accounting clerk Kendra Johnson is suing her ex-boyfriend, truck driver DeBario White, for unpaid loans and for the cost of a tuxedo rental.
Miss Johnson, you and the defendant were dating for a while. According to your complaint, you say he owes you for 3 things. First, he owes you for a $100 loan that you made so that he could turn on his cell phone. Then you claimed that you invited him to be your escort to a wedding, and he owes you for the tux. And the final thing, I believe, was a visa bill for a restaurant. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. And also, there were some shoes that were purchased as well. I have receipts for those.
Shoes for the tuxedo?
No, shoes for his children.
Okay. Mr. White says that he owes you for absolutely nothing. You paid for these things for a variety of reasons. Is that right?
Everything was gifts, correct.
So let's start with the first loan that you claim you made to Mr. White. When was that?
Last year, around middle summer, end of summer, 2000.
Middle summer, end of summer. I need a date.
August.
No, don't guess and tell me. Think.
It was in August. I don't remember which exact day.
And how long had you been dating him when you made this loan?
I had just met him, maybe 2 months I've been dating, if that.
And why did he need money?
Well, he said that he needed the money to turn on his cell phone so I can get in touch with him. He had no other form of contact for me to call him. He lived with his parents at first, then his brother, which he claimed that I was not allowed to call there, living with family. They didn't want, there were other children, his brother's children. So, no other form of contact. Can you help me find, if I'm supposed to be in a relationship with you and I care about you, that's something I'm going to do to help you.
So what did he say? You gave me a whole story. What did he say? I don't have a cell phone? Well, my cell phone was turned off?
My cell phone got turned off. I later found out it was in his sister's name.
He said, my cell phone got turned off and?
I need money to pay to turn it back on.
And you said okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So you gave him the money?
Yes, I gave him the money.
Good. That was in August?
Yes.
Is that right?
No, that's not, Your Honor.
Well, so tell me your version of the events.
I
Well, you couldn't be much worse than hers.
Yeah.
I don't hear anything about a loan.
I met this woman at work. We worked together for quite some time at NIH, and she had a crush on me, okay?
Listen.
So...
Mr. White, I want
Yeah.
you to listen to me very carefully.
Okay.
Cell phone.
Right.
Let's get to the cell phone.
Mm-hmm. My cell phone did get cut off, and she was complaining that she wasn't able to talk to me. You know, I was like, well, I got a lot of bills right now. You know, I don't have time to turn my cell phone on. She said, I'll give you the money. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. You know, later on, you know.
So she gave you the $100?
She gave me the $100, correct.
And you turned on your cell phone?
I turned the cell phone on.
That sounds right. Right?
No, ma'am. He did not turn the cell phone on.
He
There was
didn't?
more money that was owed on the cell phone.
So he didn't turn the cell phone on?
No, he did not.
Well, in that case, she must have knew my bill then, right? I mean, she gave me the money. She just gave me $100. How'd she know it was more money owed on the bill?
Did you turn your cell phone on?
Yes, I did.
I mean, around the time that she gave you the
Yes,
money?
I did.
And were you able to contact him?
No, ma'am. Not by that cell phone. By other phone numbers, family's phone numbers,
Well,
et
this
cetera.
was in August that you gave him the $100. You didn't do what he was supposed to do with the $100. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kendra Johnson claims ex-boyfriend DeBario White owes for unpaid loans and for a tuxedo rental.
Now, when did you invite him to participate with you in this wedding?
October
So
20th.
after he misled you in August and September, then you said to him, would you go to a wedding with me?
Yes.
Smart.
I was still dating him at the time, so it's...
Listen, that's your choice.
That's
Did
right.
you ever say to him, where's the $100? Where's the cell phone?
I did. He said, well, I'm in and out, you know, job here, job there. I promise I'll pay you back. We're in a relationship. I'm good for it.
I don't believe he said that to you, Miss Johnson, at all.
No, I didn't.
Miss Johnson, I don't believe he said that to you at all. I'm watching your face. I'm a real good judge of that.
That's right.
Okay. I don't need your validation, sir.
Okay.
Now let's get to tuxedo. You were invited to a wedding in October. You asked him to be your escort. He needed a tuxedo. Tell me about it.
Originally, he went with me to get fitted for the tux.
You invited him to be your date.
That's
And he
correct.
said what?
He would.
Good. So you went for the tux.
I put the down payment for the tux, which was $30 to be fitted.
Right.
Later on, I had spoke with him here and there. We didn't get to the rehearsal. He didn't know what was going on. The day of the wedding, I called him. He called me, said that he needed to get a hair shape up and that he would be able to meet me. I picked him up. He says, I don't have the tux yet. I said, well, the wedding's in 20 minutes. It's closer to him than from me. He said, well, I don't have any money. I have no way to pick up the tux. If you want me to be in the wedding, you need to buy the tux.
So you did?
I did.
Good.
Later on.
Did you dance with him at the wedding?
We didn't get to be in it because he was late since he had to get his hair cut. I never got to walk. I never got to be in it at all. I was there when they were walking out.
Now, Miss Johnson, my next question is, when was the visa bill that you claim he signed for when you went out for dinner? Was that before the tux or after the tux?
That was before the tux.
Before the tux. So that was in September?
The date's on the receipt.
It was much earlier than that.
I have it, ma'am.
Can I see it?
Sure.
That was like our first date that she took me out on. She paid
It's
for
September
dinner.
6, 2001.
9/6.
Those are other
Okay.
receipts as well.
September 6th. So tell me about September 6th.
There was a place called the Oasis in Silver Spring, Maryland. Somewhere he had been with family. He said it was a really nice place. You can dance. There's comedy. There's, you can sit down and have something to eat. Never been there before. He took me there. We danced a little bit. We had something to eat. We talked. We mingled. There was another party or something. I met some people. And later, they give me the receipt for the food purchased. And I'm looking at this as, I didn't sign this. That's not my signature. Apparently, he signed my signature.
So?
It's against the law. You can't do that.
So, if it's against the law, either you say that give me back my credit card because I didn't authorize payment for this. You don't invite him to be your date for a wedding a month later.
That's correct. However,
well, you did.
When they handed me the receipt, when you go out to eat, I had like a little handbag, something you carry when you go out. I immediately just put the receipt in my bag because not knowing to look at it. And then later on, I went through all my receipts and I kept them just in case I needed it.
Your Honor, she told me go up and pay for the bill. She gave me the credit card. I signed her name and everything. That's not, against the law. She gave me permission when we
I
sat
didn't
down.
say it was against the law. Miss Johnson is grasping at straws.
Right. She told me go and pay for the bill.
I don't need your validation. I also don't want to hear your voice because it sounds to me as if you were taking financial advantage of this lady. Did you ever take her out for dinner?
No, not really. I wasn't.
No, not really. So you never took her out for dinner? Did you ever give her any money?
On occasion.
Give me an example.
Money here and there when we go out.
Like what?
As far as like drinks or something, if we go out dancing or something like that. But no, not really. I ain't spend no big money on her.
I'm not talking about big money. I'm asking you, you went on a date. Did you pay?
Not really, because she wanted to pay for everything. She wanted to pay for everything,
Okay. All right, listen, you must be absolutely wonderful. Miss Johnson, these were not loans, madam. You didn't make any loans to him. And if you came here and said he signed a credit card and it was an unauthorized use of my credit card and I never saw him again because he's an untrustworthy bum, then I would say to you, oh, maybe you got a case. But you give him $100. Listen to what you did. You give him $100 to turn on his cell phone. He doesn't turn on his cell phone. Then you go out for dinner together. According to you, if I was to believe what you're telling me, he went into your pocketbook, took your credit card. When you were someplace else, he paid the bill with your credit card. You got the receipt, right? Realized that he had forged your name to a bill, right? What did you do? Call the police? Tell him to take a walk? No. You invite him to go to a wedding with you. Then, the last minute, you go to have a fitting for the tuxedo. You put down the $30 for the tuxedo. Not him, you. And then you wonder why Mr. Irresponsible over here wasn't ready to go to the wedding. I mean, the wedding's in 2 minutes, and then he says to you, I don't have my clothes. I'm going to go like the emperor, right, with no clothes. You tolerated it. That's your problem. Get over it. Put a period. Forget it. Mr. White, you must have something that I don't see. Case dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Your Honor, this is case number 132 on the calendar in the matter of Brodzik versus Phillips. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Ms. Brodzik, it is your claim that the defendant destroyed some of your property. This was while you were on a vacation together in St. Thomas. He was there for a friend's wedding. Want to tell me what happened, please?
We arrived on a Tuesday morning. Everything seemed to be going fine.
It was his friend's wedding that was taking place?
Yes, it was. I'd met his friend before, prior to this. And
were you dating each other at the time?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And then Brad is not supposed to drink, and as soon as he started drinking later on that evening at dinner, he became quite belligerent. He started, dancing with other women at the bar, and then he started to pick a fight with a man that engaged me in conversation. And then after that, we went back to the hotel, and he passed out. The next morning, same scenario, drinking again, belligerent.
None of this is true. Sorry.
really belligerent. And at one point in the evening, he told me he was going to leave and go with the waitress, and said he couldn't believe that all his friends were saying, why was he there with me? And at that point, I thought he was kidding, until the waitress came up to me and said, are you with him? And at that point, I just knew I had to get away. So I went to the bar at the total opposite side of the place. I was talking to a gentleman. He was going to help me, like, get my stuff out of the room. Brad saw this conversation.
You mean this gentleman?
Yes.
Had you met this
I met
man
him
before?
there, yeah. I met him that day.
Okay, so you just met him?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Brad saw this conversation, and he threw a drink at me. He pushed me over a beach railing. He pushed me several times and started screaming, told me he was going to kill me, he was going to threaten my life. At that point, I called the hotel because I had both room keys in my possession. I said, please don't let him in the room. I just want to get back there, get my things, and leave. Did he leave at that point? His friends assured me that they would keep him with them so I could go back safely and get my things.
Go ahead.
And then I arrived at the hotel. The security officer said that the gentleman that's staying in the room had been there 5 minutes prior. As I walked up to the door, he was coming up from the beach, completely soaking wet. And I said, where's my stuff? He said, it's gone. It's gone. I got rid of it. I destroyed it. You don't have anything. And I went into the hotel room, and I just had an empty suitcase. Actually, when I walked in, these are my glasses. They were destroyed, and they were right when I walked into the room, as well as later on that day, my passport had washed up in the ocean. You can tell it's been destroyed. The top of it was ripped off because it's pretty much intact, other than the top of that. And I actually have pictures and a doctor's report from where the bruising had occurred from him pushing and hitting me.
Pushing and hitting you.
This was in the water?
Yes. Or it was on the beach. It was returned to me from the security office at the hotel.
It's on the beach. It clearly wasn't in the water. Can I see a list of the items that were destroyed, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Say cash, $900?
It was in my pocketbook at the time. I actually have a bank statement that shows I withdrew that money prior to vacation.
Well, where was your pocketbook?
It was in the room. I had just a little beach pocketbook that I took with me to the bar. I didn't want to...
And you left your cash in the room?
Yes.
That was silly. People don't usually do that. Wasn't there a safe in the room?
Yes.
Yeah. So why wasn't your stuff in the safe?
I just didn't...
Cash in the safe. Okay, Mr. Phillips, let me hear your version of the events, please.
Okay. On the night in question, we had been there the first night. Everything had been wonderful. We had gone out to a restaurant. If I was not supposed to be drinking, and if I become belligerent upon drinking, it would have obviously happened the first night, because between three of us, we went through about 3 bottles of wine, the very first night at dinner. Prior to this, 3 weeks earlier, I'd been to visit her in Boston, at which time we had dinner, bottles of wine, went out after that, drank that night also, went home.
What makes you think, Ms. Brodzik, that he is not to drink?
He told me he had been in rehab in January, and he's not supposed to drink due to custodial rights and some agreement that he has with his parents.
What kind of rehab was he in?
I'm not exactly sure.
Drugs or alcohol?
Both.
Where were you in rehab, Mr. Phillips?
In Center City, Minnesota.
For how long?
For 14 days.
Is that a dry out?
That was not for alcohol.
What was it for?
It was for marijuana. I am in the alcohol business. It's what I do for a living. I am a registered sommelier. I taste wine for a living, and that is what I do. I have not had any problems, never been arrested for DWI, never been in any sort of...
Listen to me, sir.
Yes.
I never knew anybody who went into 14 days rehab for marijuana.
It was part of my wife had a problem with me smoking marijuana socially, and I said I didn't want to stop. She put an ultimatum to me to either do this or we were going to get a divorce. She was vehemently against marijuana. Those are the facts.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Phillips. So let's move on to Tuesday night, sir.
It's actually a Thursday night, ma'am.
Let's move on to Thursday night.
Thursday night, we are out. with the wedding party rehearsal dinner. Everyone's drinking, having a good time, including Miss Brodzik, drinking quite heavily. Everyone's dancing, karaokeing, wedding party. Everyone's having a good time. She says numerous times to me, oh, I'm going to go up to the bar and get a drink. I don't pay any attention to it. She goes up to the bar, gets a drink. I'm sitting there laughing, you know, having a nice evening with my friends. The groom, one of my best friends from college, looks over to me later that evening and says, have you noticed Jennifer missing a lot this evening? I said, no. He says, why don't you go look for her? I said, what do you mean? He says, do me a favor. Go look for your girl. I proceeded to walk around the corner of the bar to the other side of the bar that was hidden from where we were. As I walked around the other side of the bar, she has her hands wrapped around a gentleman's neck as they are sucking face.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I was very hurt. This is a woman that 2 weeks earlier had asked me for monogamy. Now I find her with her tongue down another gentleman's throat.
And later today...
Did you ever pay a cable bill?
No.
Did you watch cable?
I wasn't there all the time to watch it.
Give me a break, will you please? I didn't ask you whether you sat there with your eyeballs glued to the television for 24 hours a day.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jennifer Brodzik says ex-boyfriend Bradley Phillips owes for destroying her belongings in a fit of jealous rage. Bradley says he caught Jennifer kissing another man.
Go ahead.
I then go over, pull the two of them apart, start screaming at her. Without question, I had lost my temper. I was humiliated. I was very hurt. This is a woman that 2 weeks earlier, when I had been in Boston, had asked me for monogamy. Now I find her with her tongue down another gentleman's throat, which was his quote, as a matter of fact, when he was asked by the groom what happened. So my friends say to her, look, go back, get your stuff out of the hotel room. We're going to take him out. You guys separate. I go out with my friends. I go back about an hour and a half later. I get back there. She still hasn't been in the room, hasn't taken any of her stuff out. I proceed to take her stuff in one swoop of my hands, where I had rented a villa on the beach, walked down and threw her items in the ocean.
So?
Overreaction to disturbing and tactless behavior by her. No question. However, I took on an all...
What was left in the room that belonged to her, sir?
I guess the suitcase. I just reached into the suitcase, grabbed all the stuff, walked down and threw it in the ocean.
Did you take her passport?
No, I never touched her passport, ma'am. Did not rip the cover of her passport any way, shape, or form. Everything was in... I just reached in the suitcase, scooped everything up, and threw it in the ocean.
What about the cash?
Have no idea. Never even saw a wallet. There was a bag there, but I just...
What do you mean a bag?
There was her Louis Vuitton handbag. Was part of it.
Was part of what you threw?
Was part of everything that I grabbed, yes.
Okay.
And I would also like to show you the amount for this ruined vacation, which had been going along fine. If she was unhappy with what had been going on the night before, I'm sure she would have been able to communicate that with me. She could have gotten on the plane the next day. To have disgusting behavior at which, in front of one's friends at a wonderful wedding, to end up in a bar kissing another gentleman with all of my friends there and me. This is a woman who pursued me for 18 months on the phone, calling me, telling me that I ruined her life because she couldn't find another man because she was so in love with me. To then taking her away on this beautiful trip, $2,500 vacation, on the second night we're there, I catch her making out with some guy in the bar. I was furious, humiliated, and angry. I overreacted, but nevertheless, it was a reaction to her behavior.
Okay. Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Brad is a raging alcoholic with a violent temper.
She's ready to run around with any guy in a bar who's willing to play tonsil hockey.
This was completely after he said he was leaving with the waitress.
She is nothing but a tramp.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Brennan versus Brennan. Step forward, please.
20-year-old homemaker Amanda Brennan is suing her aunt, Elizabeth Brennan, for unpaid utility bills.
Miss Brennan, how is the defendant related to you?
She's my aunt.
According to your complaint, she owes you for some utility bills that were put in your name, but for her home.
Yes, ma'am.
Because of some credit problem that she allegedly has.
Yes, ma'am.
Your aunt says that you actually lived there rent-free. She paid the rent and you paid for the utilities. Is that your defense? Did you, in fact, live with your aunt at any time?
No.
You did not?
No, I did not live with
her. Did you stay with her at any time?
I would stay with her here and there to help her out while she took her boyfriend to work, and I watched her son in the morning.
When did you put the utilities in your name?
The cable bill was put in my name in her home for 2/28/01. The PG and Energy was installed on 2/14/01, and it was disconnected at 11/2/01. The water was I'm not sure about that.
Well, you must have gotten bills for it.
No, it all went to her home. She got the bills.
All right. So in February of 2001, tell me why you put the utilities in your name.
Oh, well, at one point she was living in West Wyoming. At that time, I did live with her in West Wyoming.
When was that?
It was, I believe
Was that
it
in
was,
February?
No, not in February.
Those bills were from February of 01. Tell me how they got to be put in your name.
She could not get anything put into her name because she had bad credit. She helped me out through problems that I was having. I had a drug problem. She helped me out with that. She helped me out with helping me get an apartment and all that. And with
how did she help you?
Her landlord that she knew in West Wyoming that she was living with, she asked him about an apartment, and he showed it to me and he gave it to me because of her.
So when she moved to this place in Pennsylvania, you still didn't tell me how the bills got to be put in your name.
She asked me if I would put the bills in my name because she could not turn them on in her name because of her bad credit. She had to
and
put
you had
money.
Good credit?
I didn't have good credit, but I had fair credit.
And where were you living at that time in February of 2001?
I'm not sure if I was living in Dallas. I'm not quite sure about that date. I'm not.
Well, you have to. Where was she living?
She was living with me because I moved from West Wyoming to Hillside Ave. Me and my boyfriend moved her out of Dallas, moved her into my house where I stored her stuff. And she lived with me up until February 16th of 2001.
Of 2001. When did she move into your house?
She moved in February 9th. Plus, she stayed over after that.
I'm not talking about staying over, Miss Brennan. I'm talking about living with you. She only lived with you in this location for a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the place where the bills were put in your name.
Yes, ma'am.
So she asked you to put the bills in your name.
Yes, ma'am.
And you were, in fact, staying there for a couple of weeks. Come on.
Yes, ma'am.
Come on.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I have a lot of things to do today.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you moved out.
Yes.
Where did you go when you moved out?
I moved to Church Street, a couple blocks away from her.
Is that right?
Yes, she did move out.
Fine. Now, the time she moved out, what did you do with the utility bills?
I asked Amanda to, I didn't even ask Amanda to put them in my name, in her name for me. I didn't even know about it. My sister did.
How did you think you were getting water? You said to me, I didn't even know she put the bills in her name, but you knew you had water.
I didn't ask her to put them in her name for me. I never asked Amanda to do that.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Amanda Brennan says she co-signed on utility bills for her aunt, Elizabeth Brennan. Amanda claims Elizabeth owes over $1,700.
How many months' worth of bills do you have there?
I have
from February of 01 until when? February
the PG and Energy here from when I called it was April 8th of 2002.
Judge, I moved out of Hillside Ave because of the gas bill being too high.
Did you ever pay the gas bill?
Did I? No, Amanda.
Did you ever pay the gas bill?
No, I didn't.
Did you ever pay a cable bill?
No.
Did you watch cable?
I wasn't there all the time to watch it.
Give me a break. Will you please just answer my question? When you turned on the television, I didn't ask you whether you sat there with your eyeballs glued to the television for 24 hours a day. You flipped on the television and you watched it, so you had cable, right?
Yes.
And you had water. And you had energy. Did you ever pay any of these bills?
No.
Why not?
Because we were disputing them, because Amanda called PUC to dispute them to see why they were so high. And there was, I didn't...
Just a minute. Forget that one bill. Why didn't you pay the cable bill?
Because Amanda told me I didn't have to.
Oh, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And it doesn't make sense. And what about the water bill? You were getting the water bills. What were you doing with the bills when you get them? Throwing them in the garbage?
No, I was telling Amanda. because Amanda was over my house every day. And
You were
Amanda
telling
is the
her
one,
what?
I didn't even tell Amanda I would pay the water bill or the gas bill. I didn't even know she was putting them in her name because I didn't ask her to do it. My
Can I see the bills, please?
I also have a check here that she sent to me after I filed for this to happen. She sent me a $25 check that she put on the bottom bills for Amanda, so she knew that she had
Let
to
me
pay
just see the
that.
bills,
Yes,
please.
I don't agree, though.
Let me
She
see the
lived
bills.
with me, too. So I
She
don't-
didn't live with you. Miss Brennan, she didn't live
I
with you
have
there.
ordinance of water.
She lived with you for 2 weeks, you just told me.
She lived with me, but she wouldn't stay at her own house. That's what I'm trying to get at.
So she'd come over to your house.
Exactly. So she stayed there, and she washed her laundry and everything
Here's
in
the
my
cable
house.
bill.
She'd bring her clothes over.
I bought
So what? Just a minute.
dryer.
Just a minute. So what?
And
So I don't feel I have to pay her for the whole bills.
How about any part of them?
I said I would pay for half
Why
of them.
didn't you pay for a year?
I
Anything.
didn't live there a year. I only lived there from February to November of 2001.
February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. You lived there 10 months.
Actually.
And you didn't pay for any utilities. And I'm asking you, why? Why did you not pay for any utilities? Let's say you say she came over and did her laundry, so why should you pay for all the bill? Some? Any? Now, did you pay your rent?
Yes, I did.
Every month?
Yes, I did.
So at the time you moved out, you were fully paid on your rent?
Yes.
Really?
That's because she was on Section 8, which Section 8 will pay most of your rent. All she had to pay was just a certain amount of the rent, because that's what I'm on now. That's why the rent was always paid.
Were the bills coming directly to your house?
Mm-hmm, because that's the way she had them. They were coming to my house.
Miss Brennan, let me tell you something. You're supposed to do the right thing. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,775. Thank you, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Your Honor, case number 129 on the calendar in the matter of Harding versus Zymet.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks have seats, please.
Miss Harding, you and the defendant signed a lease for a house.
Yes.
It's a large house. You were the only two people on the lease?
Yes.
You moved into the house with your boyfriend?
Yes.
Boyfriend?
Yep.
Miss Zemet moved in with her 2 children?
Yes.
And there was someone else living in the house, too?
Yes.
Who was that?
Her witness, Jolene.
Miss Zemet moved out early.
Yes.
And you believe that she should be responsible for the 7 months that was remaining on the lease?
Yes.
Ms. Zemet says that she was forced out because of assaultive behavior by both you and your boyfriend.
Yes.
Okay. When did you sign the lease?
November 1st.
Of what year?
2001.
Did you know each other before you signed the
Yes.
lease? For how long?
Since the 9th grade, about 1994.
So you've known each other a long time?
Yes.
Was there any reason why your 2 names were the only names on the lease?
We were going to move in with another girl that backed out at the last minute, and that's when we had decided to let Jolene move in.
And what about your boyfriend?
He just never signed the lease. It was just between the
Why?
2 of us. I don't know. We just never had put him on it.
But he actually moved in?
Yes.
What was the total rental on the house?
$1,600.
And what was the defendant's responsibility on the lease?
$550.
I'm going to go to you, Miss Emmett. When did problems arise that you say caused you to move out?
Well, problems arose as soon as we moved in. She was, in my opinion, acting jealous over me and Jolene talking. She would slam doors around. She was just not making it comfortable to be there at all. And then every week it seemed like there was something different that happened. You know, at the beginning of January when she shoved me into a gate, which I have a picture of a bruise that she left on my back.
Well, tell me about that. What?
Well, it was New Year's Eve. I happened to leave them at the club, not purposely.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, we were at a dance club.
Who was?
Drinking. All of us. And we all left, and I was supposed to bring 2 people home, which I didn't. Not
did
on
not?
purpose. No. Not on purpose. Didn't bring them home, which included Jolene and Archie's sister.
You all went to a dance club.
Right.
You were supposed to take 2 people home.
Right.
Jolene and the boyfriend's sister.
Yes.
You didn't do that.
Right.
You say you didn't do that on purpose.
Right.
Because she was highly
You
intoxicated.
did it. It was accidental.
Right.
But something happened when you got home?
Right. As soon as I walked out of the garage, she came running at me and pushed me into the gate, and the gate handle left a bruise on my back.
And you say you have photographs of it?
I have a photograph, yes.
That's not true, Your Honor.
I'll get you in a sec.
hard to see, but you can see.
Okay. Go ahead.
Then the very next weekend, on a Saturday, we were all at the house drinking after the, just having a little party at the house after the bar. And
After what bar?
After just the bar on a Saturday night, you know.
So you went to a bar Saturday night and you were drinking?
Right, all of us.
And then you came home and you continued to drink?
Right.
Where were your two children when all this drinking was going on?
My children were with their father.
Do they live with their father on the
No.
weekends?
Well, it was every other weekend.
Go ahead.
And Archie was, you know, intoxicated. He was yelling at his sister. Me and Jolene were sitting in the kitchen, and we just really didn't want to hear it, you know, like yelling and stuff. So I stood up. I said, it's okay. That's all I said. He started cursing at me and proceeded to throw me across the kitchen. And when I got up, I was crying. And when I was walking away, he poured his beer down my hair. I did call the cops, which I have records of that.
You just have a record that you called the police. You don't have a report.
Right. Here's what happened after I called the cops. I was upstairs in my room when I called the cops. And when they got there, I didn't realize I was upstairs, couldn't hear nothing. And then her and all his family came upstairs to ask me if I called the cops, but they said it.
That is not true.
You didn't call the cops, did you?
I'll get to you in a second.
You didn't call the cops, did you? And I didn't realize the cops were standing right down the hallway, so I said no because I didn't, want to say it to them.
All right. So those were the two instances that you're complaining about that caused you ultimately to move out?
Them are the two biggest ones, yes.
You're Archie.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you pour a beer on her?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
I figured you did. Why?
Because I thought that she interfered with something that didn't really have to do with her. She was not in the same room like she said she was when my sister and I had gotten into an argument. We were just talking, just how brother and sister normally do. And she came out of the kitchen, started yelling at us, started swearing at us. She started chewing me out, saying I didn't have no business talking to my sister like that. My sister had said some pretty offensive things to some people.
Okay, so she just came out and she was yelling at you.
Yes.
And what did you do?
I asked her if she could please, get away from our conversation. I was talking to my sister. I didn't think she had any business being there. She kept on insisting on trying to get in between us, trying to push us apart from each other. It wasn't getting physical. It wasn't getting very loud. We were just having a few words, and she intervened.
She's intervening in a family situation. So
Yeah.
what did you do?
So I asked her on several
You told me
occasions.
he asked her to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Move
You
out.
are both
Go.
me and
Shh.
I asked her on several occasions to please sit down, please leave us alone. We're trying to talk.
All right, so you asked her, and she
Mhm.
didn't.
She did not.
What happened next?
Then she pushed me.
She pushed you. How did
pushed
she
me
push
back.
you?
She pushed me by my chest like this.
You mean she put her hands on
Yeah,
your
she
chest
put
and
my
pushed
hands
you?
on my chest. Yes.
Yes, and what did you do?
I just dumped my beer on her after that. I got frustrated that the fact that she would not, quit talking to me and my sister. I was trying to have a
Did you
conversation
push her
with my
back?
sister. No, I did not. Your Honor.
You just poured your beer on
I
her.
just poured my beer over her head, yes.
And at that point, you were angry.
I was a little upset.
Put your hand down.
I was a little upset, Your Honor. I was not angry. I work at a high stress level job. I don't get angry.
Archie, was it becoming increasingly unpleasant living in the house with the defendant?
Yes, it was, Your Honor. She.
It was very unpleasant. It was
yeah,
unpleasant
she-
for you?
Yeah, it was pretty unpleasant.
Was it unpleasant for you?
Yes.
Good. So that you were not unhappy when she left?
Not necessarily.
Good.
Well, I had tried to work things out with her. I tried to sit
No,
down and
you're not.
talk to
Once,
her a
once
number
she
of
has a fight
times.
with your boyfriend, you're not working things out with her.
It was before that also.
Once she has a fight with your boyfriend, you're not working things out with her.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She and our other roommate had brought numerous guys over that they all had baseball bats and shovels and jumped my boyfriend. He ended up going to the hospital with 8 staples in his head.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Christina Harding says former roommate Charity Zymet owes for breaking a lease. Charity says she feared for her safety.
Now, you moved out in January?
Yes. Well, I paid January's rent, full January's rent, but I moved out at the beginning, but I still had some stuff there until the end of January.
Okay. Is that true?
No, she did not move out. She put a padlock on her door, and she would come every day, pick up a little of her stuff, and go.
Well, that's what she said. She said she moved out, but she left her stuff there
Yes,
through
she
the end
didn't
of the month.
officially
And she
move
did
out till
pay
the end of January.
And she did pay January's rent.
Your Honor, she did not move out. She was there just about every night of the week.
And fine,
last month.
but she paid January.
Yes.
Okay. Come February, is she gone?
Yes, she was gone the end of January, but she had not given me any notice.
If you think that I don't see your hand, I do see your hand. I'm not interested in asking you any questions right now.
Your Honor, I asked her numerous times when I could plan on her moving out so that I could find another roommate.
Okay, so now you know at the end of January she's gone. What did you do to find another roommate?
I had asked her numerous times throughout January when she would be out so that I could find another roommate.
You're not listening to my question.
Your Honor, she was...
I said now you know at the end of January she's out. What did you do then to get another roommate?
I had another roommate set up to move in on March 1st. And she and our other roommate brought numerous guys over that were related to Jolene. And they all had baseball bats and shovels, and they jumped my boyfriend. He ended up going to the hospital with 8 staples in his head. And that caused my roommate not to move in. She was scared to live with us.
And when did that happen?
On February 3rd. I have pictures and hospital reports of what happened.
Is anybody arrested?
No, it's still pending
It's
investigation.
a pending criminal investigation.
So I cannot get a police report. It's not been released yet. You're talking to a homicide investigator.
Did she move out too?
No,
she after that night, after February 3rd.
Okay.
Earlier that night at the club, she was trying to fight with me. My boyfriend stepped in the middle of us. She broke a beer bottle over the side of his head. And so then the bouncers jumped on her, took her out of there. He was trying to press charges. They said she was going to detox. She showed up at the house within an hour. And then within an hour after that, there was about 8 to 10 guys. They were about to break the window to get in the house when my boyfriend opened the door. They pulled him outside. They all had baseball bats and shovels. He was beaten pretty bad, as you can see in those pictures. His cousin and his sister also ran out there and were pretty beaten up too.
What makes you think that the defendant had anything to do with this?
Because I saw her driving away from there after the guy. She was sitting there on the street in her car when this was all going on. After the police were starting to come, she backed around the corner of the block.
After she supposedly moved out of the house, Your Honor.
You mean on February 3rd?
Yeah.
Yes.
This young lady was with her in the car?
She was in one of the cars. She had gone out the side entrance, and she had gotten into a car somewhere else when all this had happened. She must have got in the car before that. When I saw Charity back down the street, she was in the car by herself.
When was the lease up in the apartment?
It's not up until August 31st.
Who's living in the house now?
Just the 2 of us. We have still yet to find a roommate.
Where are you living now?
I own a house. I had just moved out from my kids' father for a short period of time.
Go back. You're living in a house that you own?
Yep.
When did you purchase the house?
August of 2001.
If you purchased the house in August of 2001, what were you living with them for?
There was problems between me and my kids' father, so I decided to move out for a short time.
So you're back in that house now?
Yes.
Who are you living there with?
My children and my kids' father.
Were you at the house? I'm not going to ask any questions about that. That's part of a pending criminal investigation, so I'm not going to ask any questions about where you were on February 3rd.
Your Honor?
What?
I had an apartment with my boyfriend before. I decided to move in with her and another friend that was going to be getting a divorce from her husband. And she decided to stay with her husband. We were fine in the apartment we had. I decided I wanted to help her out because she wanted to get away from her kids' father. She was dating my boyfriend's friend at the time, and she wanted to get out of that house. She wasn't planning on going back there. She signed the lease till August 31st.
Did you speak to the landlord before you moved out?
Yes, I did. Quite a few times. He told me he would take me off the lease, and that's where I was renting from.
I never received another lease.
Were you, in fact, removed from the lease?
Well, he kept saying he was...
Not well. The answer is either you were removed from the lease or you were not.
Yes, definitely.
Show me.
I don't have any proof. He lives in another state.
Well, you have no proof, and it wasn't then. The only lease that I have is the one that you originally signed.
Well, I spoke to him on the phone quite a few times, and he told me that he would take me off, that he did take me off.
I don't listen to what you tell me. That is hearsay. If you have a lease or a document from the landlord that indicates that you were removed from the lease and your obligations under the lease have been terminated, I will see that. You don't have that. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, what efforts did you make to try to find a new roommate to assume your responsibilities under the lease?
It was not my responsibility to find a new roommate.
No, whose was it? Bird's? Whose was it?
Well,
you have a lease.
Correct.
You have an obligation under the lease.
Yes.
Ordinarily, I would say that they have an obligation to mitigate their damages.
Well,
which
she told
I'm
me...
speaking. I want you to try to learn something today. Every day should be a learning experience.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Christina Harding says former roommate Charity Zymet owes for breaking an apartment lease. Christina also claims Charity sent friends to beat up her boyfriend, Archie White Eagle.
Listen to me. They have an obligation, if they know that you're moving out, to try to mitigate their damages by finding someone to assume the remainder of your lease. Unless I find that there is some evidence that you and your girlfriend over here have done something that would make it difficult for them to find a new roommate. You also have a responsibility, because if you sign a lease and if you move into a home with the understanding that neither of you could afford this on your own, but together you could afford to maintain a big house like this, then you have a responsibility not only to your landlord, but also to your co-tenant. So I'm asking you, you did not do anything to find another roommate?
Well, she, at first we did agree about a 2-month notice of getting out. Now, I don't know why she's going for the whole lease. I think she's just upset that the person did not move in, which I do not know the person that was going to move in, but Jolene does. She said that she didn't want to move in the first place. She was just saying she was going to move in to be nice. And this is all what she told Jolene. She said she was never planning on moving in.
Then find somebody, and I'm asking you, what efforts did you make to find somebody? And if your answer is simple, you made no effort to find anybody. Is that right?
Correct.
Good. Listen to me. It was not a pleasant situation living there in the house, clearly. Everybody made a mistake, and everybody's got a bad temper. You had no right to pour beer over her head.
Correct.
None. And she had, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, if she was a reasonable parent, which I'm not so sure about, a lot of drinking going on there, even if her children weren't home.
And her children were there every weekend.
Are you trying to talk over me?
No, I'm sorry.
Good. So I think it's probably a very good idea that she left. Now, are you current in your rent?
Yes.
How are you managing it?
It's really hard.
Do you
I
work?
have tried to start daycare, and I haven't gotten very many children because of the pending investigation, and my boyfriend has been picking up just about most of the rent.
What kind of work do you do?
In security.
Okay, so you've been paying the rent.
Yeah.
Now, when you moved into the house, did you put down security?
Yes.
How much?
I put down 1,000, Charity put down 600, and I have lost that now.
Why?
The landlord said since she moved out, she forfeited her part of it, and...
Oh, no. Don't give me baloney. Security deposit is for any damage that's done. So you don't forfeit that until you move out.
That's just what the landlord said, and I'm going
and you
to
only
fight
forfeit that if you move out and there's damage to the property. Is there damage to the property?
Yes, I have pictures of how she left her room also. Holes in the walls and trash all over.
Well, trash it and clean up.
Yes.
Holes in the walls is different.
Well, we had to pay for that trash to get hauled away also, Your Honor, out of our own pocket.
Arch, is there anything physically wrong with you?
No.
You had to pay somebody to sweep up?
No, I said we had to physically pay to remove all of her trash that she left
When
there.
you say physically pay, what does that mean,
We had to pay
Archie?
the trash.
We had to pay the trash bill to have all of that stuff hauled away.
No, that's not a big deal. We're not looking at a big deal here. Listen, Miss Zimet, you skipped out on a lease, and you had no reason to skip out on that lease, as far as they're concerned.
As far as they're concerned, I guess not. In my mind, I did.
You're not speaking for a very good reason, madam. You're not speaking because there is currently an investigation that is pending with regard to a very serious assault. And I don't want to hear you because I don't want you to inculpate yourself or anyone else in this incident that occurred on February 3rd.
There's other incidences that happen, though.
But I'm not going to let you pick and choose what you want to talk about.
Okay.
Perfect. Now we understand each other? Good. She has a $600 security deposit. I suggest you putty up the walls so that you don't lose that part of the security deposit. She moved out, she paid January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Is that right?
August.
No. August will be covered by her security deposit. I will prepare an order that her security deposit is to be released to you.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
That covers your last month's rent. So it's 6 months at $550 is $3,300.
I also have bills that she didn't pay for December and January.
What bills?
The trash bill of the electric bill, the water bill, and the cable bill.
Good. Consider that paid for by the dumping of the beer over her head. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,300. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.